This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, drug kick, and it's good.
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short range jumper.
Edging out in lane 4, the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome inside First Bank and Trust Arena. And I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Lisa Vahi. It is Championship Saturday. We're going to hand out some hardware today here in Brookings on the campus of South Dakota State as we get ready for our 7th and 8th place game. But always a lot of energy. And we were talking up here, it just feels a little more electric for a 7th place game than normal today for some reason.
Right, there's a lot of energy in the air, a lot of people in the building. You got the teams wearing their spirit gear today. So this place is ready to go.
Yeah, look forward to it. We're going to talk a little bit about the schedule for today. We get things started here, of course, in our first game with the 7th and 8th place game between Centerville and Coleman Egan. Centerville will be the guest on the scoreboard. Coleman Egan will be the home team. We'll talk about these teams in just a moment. Lyman and Bennett County at 12:45 today will be our second game, the Consolation Championship. We'll take a little break. Hopefully have no snow outside so everybody can go get a nice little supper, come back and get ready to go for Championship Saturday night with Corsica, Stickney, and Parkston at about 5 o'clock Central Time for third place, and then Ethan and Harding County for a state title here tonight at 6:45. So we'll talk more about those as we get going. Take a quick look at these teams that are involved in the 7th and 8th place matchup. First, we take a look at Centerville. Of course, Centerville down there, Turner County, as Centerville comes into this matchup 21-3. Tucker Tornberg, the head coach, purple and gold, the school colors. The Tornadoes ready to do battle against Coleman Egan. And how'd they get here? Well, it was not an easy path for Centerville as they made their way into this state tournament, but an opening win, 12-point win, then a 10-point win over Gayville Vollen. Their biggest win of the postseason, that 16-point victory over Highmore Herald. And then, of course, the loss on the opening day to Parkston, 46-39, and the 9-point loss to Bennett County yesterday, 77-68. So high-scoring affair yesterday. They'll start this way, same as they have been. Tessa Eide, Lydia Austin, Peyton Hansen, Bria Austin, who got hot yesterday. So we'll keep an eye on that to see if she can keep that shooting form going. And then their leader, the sophomore, Izzy Eide, 20 points a game, will be the other guard in the lineup for Centerville. Their opponent tonight, the Coleman Egan Hawks, came into the tournament 22-1, sit at 22-3 going into this 7th place matchup. They're out of Moody County. Josh Flatten, the head coach. 62, the enrollment. Black and gold, the colors. Victors, the school song. And Coleman Egan got here with a 20-point victory over Howard, a 17-point victory over Chester, and then the 5-point win over Warner to advance to this state tournament. Lost to Ethan in the opening round, 51-42, and then that 53-48 loss yesterday to Lyman. And again, that was a battle. We've already seen one of their starters, we'll talk about this in a moment, their senior leader, a little emotional to this morning already as they came out realizing this is her last game, but you at least know it is, which is pretty cool. Brinley Landis, we're talking about the 5'8" senior, has done a little bit of everything for this athletic program at Coleman Egan, so we'll talk more about her as we go. Jolie Flatten, Quinn Meyer, Macy Volker, Maya Reef, the supporting cast, but really any one of them at any time has been able to step up and knock down some shots for this team. So at least we look forward to what should be a good one to kick off day 3.
Yeah, this is going to be a great basketball game. Both these teams playing hard. And again, just two communities. You can tell by, like we talked about, the feel in the air here at the gym, how proud these communities are of these young ladies.
Yeah, it's been a great tournament so far, a great host. Again, Jeff Dvorak, Todd Jorgensen, and their crew that's helping them. Wow, what a fantastic job they've done here, and a big thanks to South Dakota State, of course, for allowing SDHSAA to use this beautiful facility. Clock goes to zeros. Let's turn it over to Mr. Al Vahi.
Good morning, basketball fans. Welcome to Brookings and to First Bank and Trust Arena. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard welcome you to this final day of the State Class B Girls High School Basketball Tournament. Our first game today for the 7th place title will feature the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Tornadoes from Centerville High School, chipping it off against the home team on the scoreboard, the Hawks of Coleman Egan High School. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of our high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs, and we hope you'll enjoy today's games and support these athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, will you please stand and help us honor America? Today's national anthem will be performed by the Dubrook High School Pep Band under the direction of Lucas Troyan. We remind all in attendance that proper respect is to face the flag, remove your hat or cap, and stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty military not in uniform may salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Before we get things going, let's meet our junior officials for this 7th place game. Our junior official from Centerville is Adeline Lindstrom. And the junior official from Coleman Egan is Emma LeBrun. And now let's meet the starting lineups for today's contest. We will introduce in alternating fashion. For the Centerville Tornadoes, a 5'8" forward senior, number 0, Tessa Eide. For Coleman Egan, a 5'8" senior guard, number 4, Brinley Landis. For Centerville, a 5'5" junior guard, number 1, Lydia Austin. For Coleman Egan, a 5'8" freshman guard, number 5, Jolie Flatten. For the Tornadoes, a 5'7" freshman, number 3, Peyton Hansen. For Coleman Egan, a 5'6" junior guard, number 14, Quinn Meyer. For Centerville, a 5'5" junior guard, number 5, Bria Austin. For the Hawks, a 5'7" sophomore forward, number 21, Macy Volker. For Centerville, a 5'9" sophomore guard, number 21, Izzy Eide. For Coleman Egan, a 6-foot freshman forward, number 30, Maya Reef. Assistant coaches for Centerville are Brady Childress, Peyton Heyer, and Jamie Edberg. Assistant coaches for Coleman Egan are Josh LeBrun and Cade Baylor. Head coach of the Centerville Tornadoes is Tucker Tornberg. Head coach of the Coleman Egan Hawks is Josh Flatten. Today's lineups are brought to you by Channel C. The officials for today's game are referee Dan Forstrom, umpire Justo Tobar, umpire Gayla Blackhorn. The alternate is Jason Loggy. Centerville fans, are you ready? Coleman Egan fans, are you ready? Today's fan section is brought to you by the University of South Dakota.
Centerville and Coleman Egan, Maya Reef and Izzy Eide jumping up. Centerville on the run after the Coleman Egan turnover to get things started. Tessa Eide on the right wing. Swinging around, Bria Austin picks right up where she left off yesterday with the triple on the right wing.
Yeah, she had a really nice game yesterday, scoring 19 points for Centerville.
That's a confident shot to start this game, knowing you had a big game yesterday. Come right back out, get in your comfort zone, and knock one down. Again, Austin, a junior. Inside, Reef going to try to take advantage of some size inside as Coleman Egan. A missed layup. Here comes Izzy Eide. She'll take it to the basket. Short off the bottom of the rim. Here comes Coleman Egan. Quinn Meyer looks like she's moving a lot better than she did yesterday after that injury.
And even when she first got here this morning, she's really loosened up that ankle injury.
Foul going to be called on the Lydia Austin layup attempt. Foul is called on number 5, Jolie Flatten. Flatten will pick up her first. Lydia Austin at the free throw line for the Tornadoes. Shot up and good. Or up and short, I should say. Austin. Lydia, not really a big offensive threat over the weekend. We haven't seen her take a lot of shots, but man, defensively, she is just a pest out there in the half court.
Yeah, on the weekend, she just has 14 points, but what she's done defensively has been really huge for Centerville over the course of the 2 days.
She's going to guard Jolie Flatten here today out of the man-to-man for Centerville. Quinn Meyer swing it right baseline. Volker inside to Reef. Reef up short. And an offensive foul called on Reef. Justo Tobar thought that he's telling the coaches left arm was out and gave a little push off. Couldn't see it from where we were at, obviously, but he was right in front of it.
You know, they make the calls. I always say if they call it tight early, fine. These kids learn to adjust.
Yeah, for sure. Tessa Eide to the lane, the senior kick out to little sister Izzy. Too strong, but off the glass and good. Banks open for Izzy Eide.
Look at the smile on her face. Not sure it's quite what she intended, but she'll take it.
That's how she plays. Watch her. She's always smiling. That kid it's so fun to watch her. Another takeaway for Austin. Rhea Austin this time. Back to Austin. Left wing three on the way. Short. Rebound. Landis will take it out of there. Now Landis will back it out, slow it down. Coleman Egan trying to be, you can tell, very decisive in what they want to do. They want to swing it around and get Maya Reef on the block, take advantage of some size. Reef too strong. Centerville crowd wants the 3-second call. Gotta remember, once the post player in the paint gets it, the count stops essentially and they start again. So people forget that part of the 3-second call.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people don't realize that at all.
Usually I never beg for the 3-second call unless we're down 10 and it's late in the game and I need something. Come on, how can we stop that? She's just in there the whole time.
Coach in 8th grade, sometimes I would wish they'd get a 3-second call in the lane. There's not in there long enough.
Yeah. Tessa Eide, second one, or Peyton Hansen rather, second one up and good.
She had a big day for Centerville yesterday, also scoring 17 points. 7 rebounds.
Flatten out top against Austin, swing it around to Reef, trailing 7-0. The Hawks yet to get on the board. Landis kick out, Volker 3, off the glass. Banks open on that end as well. Saturday after 11, I thought the banks closed, but not here.
Most of them. Not in First Bank and Trust Arena.
That's for sure. 5:04, still we're good. Not till after 5. Which again, first 3 minutes of this one has flown by, so next dead most likely will go to immediate timeout. Hansen gives way to Izzy Eide. Eide out top, guarded by Flatten. That's a good matchup of 2 athletic youngsters. They'll have a foul called on Flatten, though, and that'll take us to the immediate timeout after the call. Foul is called on Jolie Flatten. Her second personal. We'll take the immediate timeout, shoot free throws with Izzy Eide when we return. We'll take a break. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Back inside First Bank and Trust Arena. We are ready for free throws from Izzy Eide. 7-3 Centerville. The big story, though, to start this early, Jolie Flatten, who has played very well for this Coleman Egan team. 2 early fouls here in this matchup.
Yeah, you saw her coming into that immediate timeout, just taking a deep breath, walking over to the bench. These girls play a lot of basketball throughout the course of the year, and you got to believe that you've learned to play with 2-3 fouls. She might have to adjust her game a little bit, but as a coach, then you got to the trust that you have in your players.
Yeah, do they leave her on Eide, or do they make the switch and let someone else guard Eide? That'll be the big question here moving into this next possession. Quinn Meyer, left wing, loses the handle, gets it back. Volker, back up top. Flatten for 3, right baseline, got it. Jolie Flatten knocks down her first jumper. So a couple of 3-pointers for Coleman Egan. It's a 1-possession game at 9-6. Eide gonna look to answer. No, she'll take it off the bounce. Free throw line pull up. Good touch off the back iron and then gets it to go. Eide, 7 points early on here for the sophomore.
And like you talked about, Bria Austin, Jolie Flatten just having to play a little bit off of her to not try to pick up a 3rd foul, so gave her just a little bit more room.
Yeah, and Eide realizing that and making this pull up so knows she's got a wide open look. Brindley Landis at the other end and have a 3-point play opportunity. She took that strong to the basket and a late whistle, but the right whistle as she got bumped going to the basket. The senior, Brindley Landis, 20.5 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game. Going to take her talents to Dort and Sioux Center, Iowa. Play a little college basketball at the NAIA level next year. I'm assuming the defenders are in the middle of their tournament right now. I know it started in Madison last night in their bracket.
Yes, parents probably happy. Black and gold, to get a brand new wardrobe.
Eide off the glass, no, too strong. Landis with the rebound. She'll push ahead on the run out. Volker chases it down, throws it back up top to Landis. Landis now one-on-one with Bria Austin. Back to Flatten to slow things down. And look for a high pick and roll. Nope, gonna go handoff instead. Backdoor cut. Landis in the lane, up and off the glass and good. Brindley Landis has 5. It's 11-11. Tessa Eide Leave it down inside, blocked out of bounds. As Ashlyn Hagena checked in and just couldn't get that to go. Maya Reef does a good job defensively, doesn't she? Inside, like yesterday, even on Thursday, she had a lot of block shots that, or deflections maybe, but not fouling, staying out of foul trouble.
Yeah, that's, wouldn't say completely uncommon, but being only a freshman just seems very composed on the inside.
Landis picks up her second foul now. Izzy Eide had the putback opportunity and just kind of got stuck under the basket.
But made something out of it, and you know, we just see what we've seen kind of all year with Centerville. Just they're very efficient on offense and very disciplined on defense.
Tucker Tornberg again taking a team from what, 8 years ago or so, didn't even have a varsity program, to 1 win the next year, to the next 4 years, 24 or 25 wins total, to then being the state champions in Rapid City. Last year got into the tournament again and then back again this year, so 3 straight for them. Yeah,
you have 1 win in 2017-18 and the last 5 seasons combined for 105 wins.
Unbelievable. 12-11 our score. Heidi leading all scorers.
I remember visiting with him a little bit about that last year, and he just said, you know, it was kind of easy because your young girls were really excited to get something going, and so they invested a lot of their time to develop the program.
Yeah. Gonna have a foul called on Jolie Flatten, so Flatten picks up her 3rd personal in this first quarter. We'll go to free throws. That's 5 fouls already with 2:49 to play.
Yeah, and Flatten has had a really good tournament so far. 22 points that first day, 18 points yesterday.
Bria Austin, free throw up and good. Sub comes in as that will be Anya Hemmer, the 5'2" junior, to replace Jolie Flatten. Austin makes good on the second. You made a good comparison with Flatten earlier here. We were talking off air who she reminds you of.
Katie Vasika.
Yeah, just a little shorter, obviously,
but
shorter,
man,
she does play a lot like her, too.
Plays a lot like her, kind of carries herself a lot like her. And, you know, to Jolie Flatten, that's, I think, a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at where Vasika, what she has been able to do.
But I would say Flatten's probably faster than Vasika, but Vasika's just such a talent, isn't she?
Yeah, they play a lot alike.
Quinn Meyer in the paint, up off the glass, and good. Nice to see Quinn be able to get out here and get up and down the floor, back to more her style after getting bumped last night in that bad ankle.
Yeah, if you weren't here yesterday, you wouldn't know that she has a bad ankle. Bad knee, bad ankle, all in the same leg.
Loose ball on the block shot by Reef. Here comes Meyer. She'll jump stop, give it back to Reef, and then back to Meyer just to slow it down. That's good heads-up play. Don't get crazy. Get control of it. Tipped away by Eide. There's no such thing as a reaching foul. We can't yell that anymore. Landis thought about it. Crossover to the lane. Spin up in traffic. It's pretty good defense. That was a foul.
Call, yep.
Was that on? That was not on the shot, though, right? That was just out on the. Yeah. Austin way out on the perimeter. 5-2 in fouls right now.
Tessa Eide back in, and I didn't see who the other one was.
I think a new player in Haley Childress. We've not seen her yet, number 13. 3 for Quinn Meyer.
Yes. Haley Childress getting in as 5'8" senior, giving her some playing time. We got 4 seniors total, 1 for Coleman Egan and 3 for the Tornadoes.
Tessa Eide, one of those seniors for Centerville, misses the layup. Izzy Eide, reverse layup, up and good. Was she pointing at me on that one? She's just saying that was good, I think. Izzy Eide has been active in this first quarter. 1 minute to play in the opening 8 minutes. 16-16. Been a fun one here.
Yeah, Coleman Egan's made 6 of the last 8 shots. They've been really productive on the other end, Centerville just 1 of 7. Had a few fouls, made it to the free throw line though.
We've got the possession arrow goes to Coleman Egan, trying to sort things, or goes to Centerville rather, trying to sort things out here. Coleman bench and fans a little frustrated with the fact that it's 5-2 and fouls, but again, there's no rule that says you got to keep it even.
Right.
Stop fouling.
Yep.
I guess that's what I say. That's the ID.
Well, I think a lot of that's created Centerville looking to penetrate a lot more, where Coleman Egan just a little more slashing and people finding the open person.
Yep. And Maya Reef, I mean, she at 6 foot is going to take up space in that lane, and they're not going to give her a lot of calls. It just happens when you're 4 inches bigger than everybody. You got to work a little harder to get fouls. Anya Hammer.
5'2" junior comes in, hits that from well beyond the college stripe.
During the regular season, she'll play 4 quarters in the JV game, or at least 3 strong quarters. Plays the point guard, kind of leads that team, and then comes off the bench for Coleman Egan. Justo Tobar has a foul out top.
See the senior there, pumping her up. Landis giving her a little, giving Hammer a little pump up.
And we've noticed that with her all weekend, haven't we? Like,
yes.
The lone senior, sometimes you can try to make it all about you. She is not that way at all. She's always got a younger kid by her, kind of under her arm, telling him something. Step through, Landis, no.
You know, looking at her style of play fits very well with where she's going in Dordt. Very family-orientated team. Got to see them play a couple years ago up here, follow them a little bit. They have a really strong program.
Yep, they've won a lot. So we'll talk more about it when we come back. It's 1916 on SD.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
8 minutes gone in our 7th place game. It's 1916. Coleman Egan with a great run. Centerville jumped out early behind Izzy Eide, and then Coleman Egan kind of got going, started to spread the wealth here. Everybody finding a way to score. He's got a good help off the bench with Jolie Flatten on the bench with 3 fouls.
Yeah, Coleman Egan just shooting really well. 7 of 12 for 58%, 4 of 5 from the three-point line for 80%. The big difference is Centerville stayed in the game 6 of 10 from the free throw line.
Landis in the lane, little jumper, no good, off the back iron. Right, Maya Reef with the rebound and put back. Her first basket of the game.
Coleman Egan's got all 5 in the scoring column.
Brianna Eide, that one came off, or Brianna Austin came off the hand funny. You can see that one.
Yep. She was right in line with us. We could see that kind of pushed to the one side.
Looked like my golf shot right there. Always going right. To the baseline, Quinn Meyer. Good decision to throw that off of.
Such a smart player, just the understanding the game, where you're at, what to do in those situations.
Landis on the inbound, finally gets a handle on it. Double team, kick out Meyer, long 3, too strong. Battle for the rebound. Lydia Austin comes away with it. She'll go other direct. That was a great run, though. Boy, that was a good look, because she came out of nowhere, just led her too far.
Yeah, and she was open. She would have been able to get a handle on that. Maybe just a little more air underneath that so she could get to it. Tessa and Izzy Eide, the last of
I think 4 ID girls in that family. On the run now after the missed 3. Centerville will push with Lydia Austin. Lob it up and blocked out of bounds. It's a great block, sparks your team, but if I'm Centerville, I'm always yelling to my kids, still our ball.
Yep.
Like, still our ball. Great block, but not the perfect block because you didn't get possession.
Right.
But it got people fired up, no doubt about that.
Got our teammates fired up, got the crowd fired up, right into the Coleman-Egan student section.
Izzy, Eide handoff. Lydia Austin, Eide now launched the 3 against Landis. Got it! Izzy Eide can shoot it from anywhere. She's got 13 already.
So kind of wondering if coaches, if Flatten's going to get out here in the second quarter, get a few minutes just to maybe get up and down, or going to save her for the second half.
Oh, that's another, you start, oh, now I think they call that laying on the ground. Brinley Landis picks up her 3rd personal. So now you've got the 2 leading scorers for Coleman-Egan, both with 3 fouls. Yeah, and as you said, do you bring her back or do you wait? I think we're going to have a timeout. 30-second timeout. Yeah, Coach.
Just going to talk about it a little bit and come up with a game plan of what you want to do.
Well, again, it's 2. We've talked about this a lot because there's been some foul trouble this weekend with teams. It's a situation where do you just try to ride it out and just keep it close, or do you say we can't let this get away? You've got to get back in and just play smart.
Well, I think you kind of see how the game's going. You know, right now the score being Coleman-Egan's up by 2, so you're kind of maybe a little bit in the driver's seat. But if Centerville takes advantage of this and starts to run away with it, then you got to probably decide we can't have them go on a big run before the half.
Well, and again, we see with the last foul on Brinley Landis, that's just a loose ball. She's hustling. It goes at the legs of somebody. That's just one of those fouls that you can't be mad at her for, but yet if you get that on a 4th foul, now shame on you for having her in there, right? That's kind of how everybody looks at it.
But also, as a player, you got to understand, okay, I've got 3 fouls. I probably can't go diving for that ball the next time.
Well, I'm guarantee you right now in that timeout, Centerville said to Izzy Eide, take it at her, because she's staying in.
Yep, and she's staying on her.
Back screen, long 3. Eide again, starting to feel it. 16.
Just so tough because Landis is kind of forced to play off her a little bit because she does such a good job penetrating, but she can hit the outside shot.
Yeah, that is a talented kid. Hot potato out there with Coleman-Egan and all the touches everybody's getting. Landis to the baseline. Flip it out. Volker. 10 on the shot clock now. Meyer to Volker. Volker, cross court, throws it away. Austin will run. Bria Austin lead it. Oh, one-hand catch. And missed it. Officials are the Coleman bench not real happy right now.
Yeah, they felt there was a little, maybe a foul on the after Coleman-Egan secured the rebound.
Volker on the right wing. Take it with the left hand off now Landis. Thought about the 3. Bria Austin so quick. Fade away. No. I'm going to say travel anyway. Step back. We're yet to see what yesterday maybe Gross came in and played a lot of minutes in some foul trouble. Haven't seen her yet today. Now she came in because what do you call it? Maya Reef had the foul trouble.
Maya Reef, she came in and played some in the post.
It's a good block shot again. Anya Hemmer, no, too strong. Rebound and a push from behind on Macy Volker. We're going to go to the media timeout as I think they're going to talk things over here first. Justo Tobar. We'll have a sub. Jolie Flatten will come back. And then we're going to have the media timeout. We'll take the break. It's 22-21 Centerville, back with more on SD.
Protecting crops, Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Out of the timeout, Coleman Egan fans chanting golden whistle to Mr. Mike Ruth, one of our officials, Golden Whistle Award winner from the Dakota Valley Conference. So good stuff here. Kids having a little fun with it.
Centerville's finished that last 2 minutes with well, now put that at an 8-0 run. Coleman Egan just really struggling to get the ball into the hoop.
Izzy Eide is putting on an offensive show right now. And she last to touch it.
Talk about the 3 fouls for both Flatten and Landis. Flatten came in for Landis, so 3 for 3. Probably going to try to tag team those two, keeping their legs fresh, but hoping that they both won't be on the floor at the same time in case they pick up that extra foul.
And you have to have one of them on the floor. They are your 2 leading scorers all year. They are probably 60 to 70% of your offense.
Right. And probably what we've seen, you know, Coleman Egan struggled. Haven't scored in 4 minutes.
24-21 Centerville. Jolie Flatten into Reef. Reef, that's probably a push-off. Got away with that one, though.
Got away with that one.
The angle we have, we could see it. All 3 officials were shielded on. There's no way they could see it, but the foul comes against Centerville on
Coach
number
Tornberg
3.
saw it.
Yes, he did. Peyton Hansen.
Over here on this side, we had a pretty good angle.
These referees get to talk a lot today. One of our critiquers, if you will, of the officials in South Dakota, Justin Ingles, sitting to my left. Get a chance to sit by him a lot at the state tournaments. Comes in, watches the referees, and then they go back and talk about things. We had a good visit last year, so fun to see. Oh, that didn't touch the rim, did it? No. Fun to see and listen to their take on how things go. We've had a lot of conversations with him over the last couple of years.
Well, and even that first day, Wayne Carney was here. He had
Still
some notes about officials, and he might be a little bit off the clock today. I don't know.
When's the last time he actually donned the stripes? Can you? Because he hasn't refereed for a long time. Basket's good.
Got to know him really well. Played with his daughter, Julie Carney.
Sure.
From Hamlin. And then when he moved out to Pierre and was the head of the Athletic Association living in Pierre.
Foul from behind. That's going to go against, I believe, Izzy Eide. It is. Eide will pick up her first. Eide's already at her season average. She's got 20 in the first half. 20 of the 26 for Centerville. Reef off the left side.
And only a sophomore.
Yeah, she is a confident, talented player. Yeah, she was coming.
She was coming. It's a long ways to run from the bench to the X, so.
Not going to bring her in. I thought she was there. But again, not there, but on the run there. And usually, you got to do a little preventative sometimes and pay attention to that. But
and usually they let those in.
Yeah.
But it is a lot farther to run here to get to the X.
And that's the biggest thing, just not used to that at the table. Foul going to be called on Tessa Eide. Oh, they can call that on Reef? They're going to call that on Maya Reef. She'll pick up her second personal. Coach Flatten tried to explain that he thought she had the rebound, and I don't know where the whistle came. Yeah, I don't know. That replay's hard to see.
It's hard. That's just kind of a incidental wrap-up by both players.
Well, and right now for Coleman Egan, it's everything's building on top of each other too.
Well,
every call just makes it feel worse.
A little bit magnified with two of your best players. 60% of your offense both have 3 fouls. Maya Reef, big part of that also, then picks up her second. So it magnifies it a little bit.
Foul call on Bria Austin. Now Flatten and Landis both back in with 2:20 to play, 26-22 in this first half. You talked about, do you put them on at the same time? You don't want this game to get away from you, so you kind of just say, we got to roll the dice. It's not like you're playing for another day. Today is it.
Well, and Coleman Egan just hasn't had a field goal in 5.5 minutes.
Yeah,
and
you've got to find your scores.
And we're looking at 2 minutes still left in this quarter.
Long cross-court pass, Flatten on the dribble drive, left hand, no good. Rebound, Reef. Kick out, Meyer. Had a look at it, picks up, jumper from 12. No good. Rebound, Izzy Eide. Push ahead, Bria Austin. The Tornadoes will run. Back out top, big screen. Eide for 3, left it short. Saved by Tessa Eide on the baseline. Now Coleman Egan will run. Has Landis out in front. Flatten will pull it out. Jolie directing traffic, gives up to Maya Reef. Reef gonna look for the handoff to Brinley Landis and then throws it to Jolie. Flatten in the corner for 3, no good. Flatten was in a bit of a rhythm, but then you gotta sit out. You gotta try to get back into it. Quinn Meyer for 3. Meyer's got 8 and a timeout, Centerville. Coach Tornberg wants to talk about it to wrap up this first half. 26-25, 109 to play. Taking a 30-second timeout.
So that was the first basket since Coleman Egan got in all the foul trouble. So that was their first basket in the last 6 minutes.
Oof, that's tight. It's a 1-point game. Incredible.
I know. Great defense by them. I think great composure on the defensive end.
Well, and Centerville kind of went cold a little bit. Izzy Eide was hot, and then she's missed her last couple of shots.
Right, you know, she had a couple looks there when Landis had to play off her a little bit, but now they haven't really been able to get much going.
When you're a high-energy player, sometimes you use a lot of energy on made shots, celebrating a little bit. Your legs get a little tired, and you forget to kind of use your legs to shoot again. So probably a good timeout by Coach Tornberg. Just let's go into this half with a couple good possessions here, get calmed down.
Right, you want to gain some momentum going into the halftime. They're 0 of 4 in their last shot, so try to get a basket here.
Bria Austin on the right wing. Anya Hemmer got tripped up. Foul called on number 43, Ashlyn Hagena. Hagena picks up her first personal. Landis now. Chance to regain the lead for Coleman Egan. Centerville, one of their last 9. They're in a 2-minute scoring drought. The cutter has it go off the hands. On the run, Bria Austin chased by Landis. Up and good. Good decision.
Landis couldn't do much on that one. Just run alongside her, maybe make her bounce it off her knee or turn it over, but great job.
Yeah, you got to let her know you're there, but there's no way you're going to try to block that shot or take it away, because you don't need something called that you didn't think was a foul.
And
under 20.
That's kind of what Centerville needed to go into this halftime, was to get a shot. And you got Coleman Egan going for the last one.
Down to 7 on the clock. 6, 5. A big screen out top. Flatten for 3. No. Rebound Reef, and clock runs out. We'll go to halftime. Centerville 28-25 over Coleman Egan. The Hawks survive foul trouble from their 2 offensive stars. We'll take a break. We are back with more. You're watching the Class B Girls State Basketball Tournament from First Bank.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
From inside First Bank and Trust Arena on the campus of South Dakota State University, I'm Brad Beer alongside Lisa Bahi. And Lisa will throw some highlights up, but you got some stats there as well. And again, the big stat is on the foul line as far as Landis and Flatten both with 3 fouls, but able to survive with those 3. Now you can open up, play a little more free the second half.
Yeah, and they were both able to come out and later in that second half and play a little bit. Had to change a little bit of their style of how they played defensively especially, but I think one of the big things, Centerville 11 points off turnovers from Coleman Egan, and a lot of that happened there kind of in that stretch where Coleman Egan didn't score. Centerville led by 7 is the biggest their lead, but Coleman Egan was leading by 5 at 7:41 at the start of the second quarter, and then that stretch happened with the 3 fouls, and they didn't score. They couldn't get a basket.
You're seeing some of these highlights. Maya Reef with that foul trouble to Landis and Flatten. Maya Reef has been a monster defensively because they've gotten by because you can't play that solid defense you want. She's been able to reject shots and be a game changer in the lane. That's helped Coleman Egan stay in it and then able to hit a shot or 2 late just to kind of close that gap.
Right, you know, and Coleman Egan out rebounding Centerville 20-14, and she has 6 of those, 4 blocks for Maya Reef.
Wow, yeah, 4 in the first half already. Took a look just at team shooting. 9 of 26 is Centerville. They are at 34%. 9 of 24 for Coleman Egan, 37%. So, you know, that's pretty even. 44% from the 3-point line is Centerville. 41 is Coleman Egan. At the free throw line, 6 of 10 for Centerville, and then 2 of 5 is all for Coleman Egan. So they're begging to get back to the free throw line a little bit more.
Well, and a great job for Coleman Egan. Those 6 of 10 free throws were in the first quarter. So yeah. Centerville didn't shoot a free throw in the second quarter.
Well, and so again, that defense had backed off.
Yeah, had to back off a little bit. And then just Coleman Egan shooting percentage went down a little bit. Centerville stepped up a little bit. They got a few runouts on those turnovers, and those easy baskets in the lane on runouts help boost your shooting percentage.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll take another break. Christian, I don't know if you can get a shot of, I guess he's hiding in the corner. We'll catch him when he comes back. The Olympics have gone on, and of course, Snoop Dogg has become everybody's favorite guy now all of a sudden because of the Olympics. Coleman Egan has their own Snoop Dogg by the way he's dressed today. We'll show you that when we come back. Stick around, you're watching high school girls basketball state tournament action on SDPB Sports.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities,
It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Back inside First Bank and Trust Arena. He's trying to hide from it. There he is. Look at him. He's talking to the Golden Whistle along with Justin Ingles. He is the Athletic Activities Director at Coleman Egan. And Mr. Deitch, we like to call him the Snoop Dogg of Coleman Egan. You got it. Look at him. He's showing it off right now. That's great stuff. So, oh, brother. That's the beauty of state tournaments. You just conversations. I was able to stop, have a bite to eat last night after the games, and stopped in the place I stopped. All of the Centerville fans were there, and they're staying at that hotel. And I mean, you just start visiting with people. And, well, do you know so-and-so? Well, yeah, I lived with him in college. Or yeah, and there was a gentleman, Bruce Bentos actually, is who started the conversation with me. And he's an older gentleman, retired. He's got a granddaughter, number 33 for Centerville, actually, Sage Martz, freshman. But he's from White, and his older brother played basketball with my dad at White High School back in 1959, 58. You know, they graduated in 59. So just had a great conversation and all the connections you have with small town South Dakota.
Well, I think that's what makes the state tournaments in South Dakota so special is everybody knows everybody. You have probably some connection to at least a couple of the teams in the state tournaments. And it just makes it a really neat experience. And you talk about the dress, sometimes what parents will do for their kids.
Yeah, look at it. They don't care. They're like kids again, and that's the beauty of it. I think, you know, we talk about like the student section. They all get into it. They do it at every game, though.
Right.
But you get to the state tournament, and fans or families and parents and all that, they all get to get back into the feel of what it's like to be a kid again. Like, they just let loose. I think it's so awesome.
Yeah, just the dress-up days and the creativity that we see.
Yeah, and you can order anything you want online now. So talk a little bit about, I know we've done this a couple years. You're on your third year doing this. You and I did it a couple years ago. The change in girls basketball. We kind of mentioned some things, but go back to your playing days. And I mean, how the game has evolved and changed in girls basketball, the athleticism that has become what it is.
Well, I think the biggest thing, there's just so many more opportunities for kids to go and get better. You have acceleration programs as kind of the first things. Then they added some team camps. I mean, we were lucky, like you talked about, that we were just barely lucky if we got to go to a week-long camp. And you don't have many week-long camps anymore. We would go on Sunday. Mom and Dad would drop you off, pick you up on Friday or Saturday. And you don't see it very much anymore because kids are so involved in so many things. But just the team camps, the opportunities they have, you got being on this side of the state, down at Sanford, and I know that doesn't deter. I saw some friends of mine from Pierre posting that they're bringing Suburbans of kids to the football academy in Sioux Falls.
Crazy.
And, you know, that's a 3-hour drive one way, but they're willing to do that. And then just the travel. We hardly ever went out of the state to do anything.
Yeah, and that's the team camp thing now. Everybody's looking for bigger team camps to go to make it an experience for these kids, and that's what it's become. So, again, but you're seeing the level of play obviously continues to rise.
Right, you know, and we're getting out there and through kids sports, and I have a son that's 12 that we've gone to a few places, go down to Kansas City and play, and then you make the championship game and you play Watertown, South Dakota, you know, so we know, I think it also helps us understand we have good athletes here.
Oh yeah, and again, we're starting to see them get more opportunities at the next level. As we get back to action, you saw Lydia Austin knock down the three to get things started. She doesn't shoot the three very much, so for her to knock one down, that's a big, big plus for Centerville. Izzy Eide with 20 to lead everybody right now.
Yeah, she had a really great first half.
Brinley Landis will knock down the three to get it started for Coleman Egan.
Able to come back and answer the three, so start with 2 threes.
Wide open out top. That was maybe a travel, a little extra step there. Up and in for Peyton Hansen. She's had a good tournament. We haven't heard much from her today, but if she starts to open up a little bit, Coleman Egan's going to have to find a way to slow down another scorer for Centerville.
Right, she's been, she plays her role. You know, she's got a inside trying to guard Maya Reef is a big task for her. So any points they can get out of her after her defensive effort is huge.
On the top, Quinn Meyer. Meyer on the wing, looking to get it inside the Reef, and does. We underneath, Peyton Hansen with the push.
Now Peyton Hansen listed at 5'7", and you got Maya Reef in there at 6 foot. So giving up a little bit of height.
Reef does a good job with her footwork too, a really good job posting up. A little strong for Volker off the back iron. Now we run. Ideal, throw it up front, off the glass and in for Bria Austin. Tough shot underneath the arms of 6-foot Maya Reef.
Yeah, she was trying to pick up another block on that one.
Landis on the left wing. Trying to direct traffic a little bit. Gets a screen down low. Hesitation dribble step through Landis, left it short. Gets her own rebound. Landis, spin move, and then repositions and scores it up off the glass. 5.5 for Landis, 10 for the game. 35-30, 6 minutes to play. Tessa Eide blocked again, the 5th block shot of the game for Maya Reef.
She's a force to be reckoned with right now inside. You know, she almost had one a little bit ago, so she's really forcing Centerville to kind of change their shots.
And that's a move by Eide, try to get all the way. If she could come to a jump stop there and then get Reef off her feet, but kind of lost her balance. She was not going to stop on 2 feet the way she was going. We're going to have a foul.
I think on
Volker, yeah. Macy Volker. Not sure where the foul was. It was away from me. It was kind of away from the play.
I don't know if it was on the screen that was being set.
Must have been. Swing it around. Hansen will give it corner. Izzy Eide, she likes that corner, but let that one fly a little bit too quick. Ooh, look out. Tessa Eide. Quinn Meyer, everybody's trying to help her. Get off me, I'm by. Really, Landis laughing at her.
Landis has her hand over her mouth trying to hide the laugh. And Quinn Meyer, I mean, everyone's just concerned with her going down yesterday for a little bit. Now gimping a little tender on that ankle again.
Well, it might be even her knee that time. She was holding her knee when she was standing over there, but she went down hard for sure.
Talk about yesterday, her being a high jump and her high jump coach being concerned. At least she jumps off the other leg.
Other foot, yep. She'll be a left-footed jumper, so. Her speed maybe diminished the first week of practice, but Eide from 16 on the baseline, no good. Rebound, Tessa Eide up and good. Big sister taking care of little sister again. Cleaning up her mess.
Cleaning up, yep. Usually I think the big sister's cleaning up the little sister's mess, but reverse the roles.
Landis on the baseline, reverse, tough shot.
Got that.
Just couldn't quite get it off the glass, made it a little tougher. Good cut. That's a tough pass. Tessa Eide to Izzy Eide that time. Wow, just to squeeze that in and still be able to let Izzy grab that. A little full court pressure applied now by Centerville.
Centerville's gone on a little run here to open this third.
Lydia Austin. We're going to go to the media if we get a chance, and we will after the media timeout. Quinn Meyer will be back to shoot free throws. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SDPB.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Back out of the timeout, First Bank and Trust Arena, the site of the 2026 Girls State Basketball Tournament. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Lisa Bahi, courtside here at First Bank and Trust Arena. We're spoiled. We got the best seats in the house just to watch some great basketball for 3 days.
I was just thinking the same thing. You know, sitting here and when we talked that first day before the first tip-off, how good the teams are that are in the Class Bs. All 8 of these teams vying for that championship.
No, we had just the one game yesterday. We've had one game out of 8 so far that has been more than 10 points.
Right.
And that was Ethan over Parson. Didn't even feel like a 16-point game. Felt like a lot closer game the entire night.
Yeah, and that wasn't until kind of late in the game that one got out of hand.
Violation. So somebody on Coleman Egan, I don't know if it was Brinley Landis, stepped in early.
It was Landis for White.
She's kind of looking around like, what did I do?
I don't know if she was standing on the block.
Might have been, yeah. Might have had a foot on the line or something. There's a moving screen. Yeah. Never got set. Tucker Tornberg doesn't like the call because he's thinking that his player should get to roll out of that, but you got to stop first.
Stop first.
There really wasn't a much stop in that one.
And I always tell our kids, you got to act like you're calling for the ball.
Yeah.
You know, she was rolling, but wasn't really actively calling for the ball.
Yeah, you can get away with a little bit of a moving screen, if you will, on a roll if you are acting like it's coming to you.
And it's got to be kind of after the act of the screen.
Yes. In the paint, Reef going to be fouled by Tessa Eide. Maya Reef will go to the free throw line. She's been there 4 times so far. 1 for 4 from the free throw line. So struggles at the stripe, but we'll get another opportunity here. Quinn Meyer really gimpy back here right now, trying to just tough it out. Credit to that kid for playing through. She has hit the deck a few times, and we know she rolled that ankle hard yesterday, so. Reef's second one on the way, too strong, 0 for 2, so she is 1 for 6. Anya Hemmer knocks that one out of bounds. Centerville leading 39-31. They quietly run this out to an 8-point lead after halftime. Tessa Eide comes off the screen, kicks it to Bria Austin. Straight up and down, unless she had an arm, there's not going to be much contact there. And a timeout called as Centerville grabbed the loose ball on the baseline. 32nd timeout. Tucker Tornberg, there's a good look at Coach Tornberg, surrounded by his players in his patented Whip Sanderson purple plaid sport coat on championship Saturday. It's good stuff. I was talking to him about his attire earlier. We were just talking before the game. He said whoever was calling their game at the state championship game 2 years ago that they won, said that announcer, and I'll leave it, if you guys remember, I won't say who it was, but he was wearing a lot of purple and gold that day. And Tucker said, do you think he did that on purpose? I said, I don't know, because I know who you're talking about. And he's not a flashy dresser usually, so he might have been trying to call his shot that night. So he thought that was pretty funny. He looked at me like, why aren't you wearing purple? I said, oh, got to stay neutral, buddy. Got to stay neutral today.
Try, right?
Yeah. It's funny because I have a lot of purple in my closet. I do wear purple dress shirts a lot, so.
I don't have as much as I used to. Willow Lake Pirates
Sure.
being purple and gold back in the day. Now Willow Lake Clark Cyclones, Clark Willow Lake.
Up and short for Eide. On the run, here comes Brinley Landis now. Chased from behind, has it tipped away. And now it's 5-on-4 the other direction. Pull-up jumper, Eide can't get it to go. She's cooled off here in the second half. She was on fire those first 2 quarters.
Yeah, just 2 points in this second half so far.
39-31. 5 different players have scored in the quarter for Centerville.
We just haven't had a whole lot of scoring in the last. Centerville is 0 of 4, their last 4, and Coleman Egan has not scored in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, 3-13 for Centerville, so.
And then they answer.
Yeah, there you go. All you gotta do is talk about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Eide, another bucket to go to 24 on the game. He's making a bid for that all-tournament team. That'll be announced, of course, tonight following the championship game. Anya Hemmer down the lane. The 5'2" guard draws the foul on Peyton Hansen, her 3rd personal. Hemmer will go to the free throw line. Anya didn't play a ton the opening day in that game. Well, didn't at all. They only played 5 players in that first game.
Right.
But since then, she's played big minutes both yesterday and today and has really been effective for them, both on the offensive end and more on the defense. But today has been effective on the offensive end, been a little more aggressive, if you will.
Right, you know, and I think some of the attention has gone to Landis and Flatten, and so her sneaking in kind of and taking some of those points.
0 for 2 though at the stripe. Reef with the rebound. She'll kick it all the way out. Flatten, we haven't heard from Jolie much here in the second half. Landis up top. Now we'll go to Flatten. Jolie inside, has it tipped out of bounds. The lob, get it to Landis, look inside, there's Flatten. And Flatten will get one to go. Her first basket in a long time. Jolie hit the 3 early in the first quarter, didn't score in the second, and now has finally gotten back in the scorebook. Great look inside Ashlyn Hagenup.
Be careful, the coach is going to want us to talk about the lack of scoring so that they start scoring.
Travel as Flatten, instead of a jump stop handoff, kind of took a couple extra steps. Landis is going to talk to Jolie Flatten a little bit, coach up the freshman. And that's kind of a luxury for first-year coach Josh Flatten. Of course, Jolie, his daughter, but to have a Brinley Landis who's played since 8th grade at the varsity level, that's your coach on the floor. And not necessarily setting, talking about sets and different things, but just calming people in those moments like that.
Right, the senior leader that you're looking for, and like you said, with her being the only senior, probably takes on that role a little more intensely.
Ashlyn Hagenup picked up her 3rd personal. 90 seconds left in the quarter. Both Landis and Flatten have managed to stay at 3 fouls through this 3rd, so that's huge for Coleman Egan if they're going to look to make a run. Last touch by Coleman Egan. Landis thought it was tipped by Centerville. Quinn Meyer will limp off to the sidelines. What a valiant effort for that girl. My gosh. She has been beat up, knocked down, and keeps on fighting right now. She's going to get checked out a little bit at the end of the bench just to try to see if they can loosen it up. Heidi. Pull up over Landis, partially blocked. Maya Reef has it tipped away as she tried to launch it the length of the floor. Coleman Egan will control. Coming in, Harper Mosel, 5'4" sophomore now, running the baseline. Reef gets a handoff and then a double screen or a screen to another kick out. Heidi gonna look to run. Flatten will tip it away this time. Maya Reef finally gets it corralled. Shot clock, game clock, about a second and a half different. Landis gonna get a screen, no. Coleman fans want Landis to take it to the hoop on Austin, but those two Austin girls are hard to get by. They are so quick.
Are. And you gotta be careful here not to pick up a offensive foul late here in the...
They're gonna call that on Centerville. Austin moving Landis out, I believe, on the rebound.
Free throws, I believe.
Yeah, foul gonna be called on Bria Austin.
Some big free throws here to end out the third quarter.
Centerville thought it was gonna be a push in the back. They're gonna say no, Austin actually moved under her is what they're asking about.
But earlier we've heard a lot of fans yelling over the back, which really isn't a call either. You just gotta make contact. And if both players are going up for the rebound, that's not necessarily a foul if the person behind you still gets the rebound.
I was wondering what Coach Tornberg was asking about. You reported a wrong number. He meant 5 and said 3. That would have given Peyton Hansen her 4th personal.
Right.
And instead, Bria Austin picks up her 3rd. So that makes sense. I was like, why is he's upset down there? But that's what it was. Landis makes good on both. Down to 6, 5, 4 on the clock. Izzy Heidi one-on-one with Flatten to the lane. Missed it short. And we'll go to the quarter break. Centerville by 8, 43-35. We'll reset the clock to zeros on the fouls. And we'll get 8 minutes put back up and get ready to go for our final quarter of play here in the 7th place game. You're watching SDPB Sports.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Are Peterson Farm seed reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed. We're that kind of seed company.
So that's our game face. First Bank and Trust Arena. It's South Dakota State University. I'm Brad DeBeer alongside Lisa Bahi, and our first weekend of state basketball tournament action starting to wind down on this championship Saturday of Class B girls basketball action up in Watertown. Of course, you'll have Mahbia Luja and Lennox playing for a title in Class A. And Double A is what? O'Gorman? I didn't even look last night. O'Gorman's playing Brandon Valley, is that right?
Yes, O'Gorman and Brandon Valley. So
Shocker,
that should,
right?
it should be a great game, though.
Great basketball all day long. If you don't want to venture out anywhere, lock us in and enjoy the day.
Might be a good day to do that.
Landis spin move, up and good. Oh, they're going to call travel on the spin. I wondered if she got away with it. We'll see it right here. 1, 2. Oh, she did hop on the foot. That's actually a really good call. She kind of hopped on that pivot foot.
Ah, too bad. It's a great move.
Yeah, to get into that position. And the left-hand layup is up and good for Lydia Austin. And a foul going to be called on Volker.
Be her 3rd.
Macy picks up her 3rd personal. And a free throw coming for Lydia Austin. Shot is up for the lefty, no good. And a rebound taken out of there by Landis. She'll fire it down the court. Missing the layup. Harper Mosel had gotten the run out. Good hustle to get back though for Centerville. for the rebound on the missed shot. Hanson inside, can't finish. Good defense by Jolie Flatten with those 3 fouls. Just really had to move her feet, stay straight up and down.
Yeah, doing a great job. It's really adjusted to what she needed to do on the defensive end.
Flatten for 3, got it on the left wing, and Jolie Flatten gets back into the act. 45-38, that cuts the lead to 7.
Well, that's important for Coleman Egan to remember. You don't have to come out and do it all at once. A little bit here, a little bit there. Play good defense on the other end.
Yeah, this final quarter, you got to cut it into 2-minute increments. I think when you're down double digits at 10 points, if you can get it to 7 or 6 by the 6-minute mark, then you get it to 5 or you get it to 3, and you know that's how you kind of battle it back.
And now you're in the ball game.
Yeah, you're never going to win it with one shot down 10, right? So take stops and effective offense, or efficient offense, I should say. Mosel missed the 3.
Tough angle. It looked really good from here. I was kind of surprised it hit the back of the basket.
A little deeper in the corner.
A little deeper in the corner, right.
Austin the lob, Eide off the glass and got it. And a little sigh of relief by Izzy Eide. That girl just wears her emotions on her, not just her sleeve, but her face shows everything in that girl. Flatten down the lane quickly. Missed the layup with the left hand. The run out, Eide tipped out of bounds, and a collision between Eide and Landis. Everybody's good. There's incidental contact, a little hug between the two. They're all good. They're just playing basketball right now.
I think Landis was a little worried that that was going to be number 4, but just a great hustle play by both athletes.
Yeah, she actually, I think, already knocked the ball out, landed, and then they ran into each other. The miss for Eide. Coleman Egan basketball now, 47-38. 9-point lead for the Tornadoes. Long 3, straight on, no good, wide left for Landis.
Don't feel like she really got her feet set on that one.
Just under 5.5 to play. Eide. Back to Tessa Eide. 3 on the baseline. No. Rebound taken out of there by Mosel.
That's a tough shot, trying to shoot over and outstretch Maya Reef. Great composure by Maya Reef to not come out and contest that and not foul her.
Coach Flatten wants a certain set called, and he was not happy that it wasn't run the last time down. Flatten, the runner, got it.
Haven't seen much of that today.
Nope.
But we saw that early, that move, that runner early on in the tournament.
Volker going to come back in probably from Mosel. We'll go to the media timeout on the next dead. In the lane, step through. Wow, Tessa Eide.
Great move.
Coleman Egan fans want the travel, and I didn't catch her feet. I was kind of looked down right as she was going to score it, so I don't know what happened prior to it. But
I think it was just a pretty good up and under. Coleman Egan really bid for it. He had everybody went across the lane.
3 on the way. Flatten, no good. Rebound, Lydia Austin. About 2.5 minutes of running clock right now where we haven't had a stop and play. To the lane. Leave that out under. Tessa Eide, another block shot. Last touch. And we'll get the media timeout with 3:53 to play. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
Either of those.
Well, we are under the 5-minute mark, all the way down to the 3:53 mark, before almost 3 minutes of clock time there before we got a dead ball.
Right, just really up and down, and you know, you look at this, you got 4 minutes to play. You've got Coleman Egan down by 9 points. Just got, again, we talked earlier, just chip away a little bit. They kind of get a basket, and then Centerville goes down and answers.
3:45 now and counting, and we're playing for a 7th place plaque. We'll hand out some hardware at the end, so we'll take a quick break as soon as this one's over. After 2 minutes, come back, and then we'll hand out those plaques. We're actually going to try to catch up with Coach Tornberg or Coach Flatten, the winner of this one as well. So do that maybe before they hand out the awards. We get a chance. Takes them a while to bring the table out, so maybe we'll do that.
4 minutes, well, 3.5 minutes left, and both teams only have 1 foul, so it'll be a little bit before we get to the free throw line, unless it's a shooting foul, obviously.
And again, if Coleman Egan could find a way to knock down a couple threes and get a stop, then you don't have all worry about where that foul count is. But
well, and Coleman Egan kind of maybe wanted to try to get some to the free throw line and get some points with the clock stopped.
That out of bounds play was set up to do that. Landis muscling her way to the basket, but all clear. Takeaway by Flatten. Flatten on the run out against Eide. Leave it too strong. Rebound. Landis in the paint off the glass, and good for Brinley Landis. Back-to-back buckets for Landis. She and Flatten the only 2 to score in this 4th quarter for Coleman Egan.
Just kind of willing these guys, we're going to pick you up, put you on our back, and now here we are with 3 minutes and a 5-point game.
Centerville certainly had chances to run out, just couldn't get away. Timeout before the tie-up, and Coach Tornberg says, I'll take a full. We'll take a quick break as well. Come back for our final 2.5 when we return on SDPB Sports.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Hey, buddy.
Good job.
2:38 to play, 49-44. Another good one here in Class B girls basketball state tournament action. Brad DeBeer alongside Lisa Bahi as we get ready to see Centerville and Coleman Egan finish it up here in quarter number 4. Landis will take a turnover.
That's just their 3rd, I think, steal or takeaway in this game.
Going the other way, Volker will be fouled and miss the layup attempt. And for Coleman Egan, they've done this with foul trouble in the first half, and one of their 3rd leading scorer, Quinn Meyer, pretty much on the bench this second half. She came out after getting knocked to the floor and hasn't come back. She's pretty gimpy over here, but I've watched during timeout. She is all about being a part of the huddle.
Yeah, you know, Hemmer's had some big minutes for Coleman Egan, not always resulting in points or rebounds, but just being on the floor, understanding her role, and being accepting her defensive assignment.
Yeah, free throw line has not been the friend of Coleman Egan. 5 of 13 now, I believe. 5 of 14. So again, you leave 9 points out there, and even if you just make half of them, this game's about tied, you know?
Right. So all your young athletes out there, important to get to the free throw line. It's not always the fun thing to go practice.
It's the easiest thing to practice.
It is the easiest thing to practice, and probably one of the most important things when you're in games, close games like this.
No doubt about it. And they matter in the first half more than they matter in the second half sometimes. Austin, kick out to Austin. Lydia, 3, no good. Rebound, Hanson, they're going to say no. That's a good call. Now, that was not released. Here you'll see it, the replay. Can't see the light. Was the light on in the back? I couldn't see it on the, on that, there was kind of a flash there.
Maya Reef had a great box out. I'm not sure who had Hanson, but Maya Reef really did a great job.
Yeah.
Almost too good of a job because it cleared out the lane for her to get to the basket.
Yeah, in live time, I definitely would have said no good.
Right.
Now on that replay, I was like, I didn't even see the lights. I don't know what happened there, but.
Well,
Maya Reef on the left wing, looking inside. Landis trying to post up in the lane. Oh, bounce pass flies by Landis. Hands were up. Bounce pass kind of shot through there on the ground on the bounce pass. Down to 1:15 to play. A 5-point lead for Centerville. They'll get patient out top. Get the ball back in the hands of Izzy Eide, then swing it around. Lydia Austin, the lefty. Give it up to Hanson. Hanson will be fouled. Brinley Landis.
Didn't want to, but had to. And you've got some fouls to give here. Again, letting a lot of time go off the clock before you pick up those fouls. I feel like you got to get those really quick. And then on that fourth one, you can sit a little bit, see what happens.
And a full timeout going to be taken here by Coleman Egan. Let you elaborate on that point again. You're right. When you talk about it, you have to foul in that situation, right? But why wait till the shot clock goes down? It's just hard to communicate that sometimes in live time for those kids and for the coaches on the sideline.
Right, and he didn't have a timeout right prior to that to kind of talk about it. But understanding, you know, Coleman Egan's got Landis with 4, you've got Flatten with 3, and it looks like you have Volker with 3. But you can't be real picky either because you're at a minute left. Granted, you want to have your best players on the floor, but you also need to get the ball.
And it's easier said than done to say, well, let's just make sure that we funnel the ball on the inbound or whatever to so-and-so. But you got to have the right people in the right place, and the other team's got things in place to put the ball in the hands of their best player, where you're going to see, I would venture to bet, screen after screen right now to get the ball to Izzy Eide to make sure she's the one going to the free throw line.
Right, and Centerville's so efficient on offense. They're just going to run some of the clock down, knowing that they probably are going to look to have to come out and foul them.
Yeah, they are 19 of 52 right now from the field, 36.5%. 5 of 18 from 3, 6 of 11 at the free throw line. So really, the stat line is, when you look at percentages, is pretty close until you look at the free throws. Whereas Coleman Egan's just 35% right now. That's the difference in this game.
Coleman Egan looking probably wanting to foul Tessa Eide, only about a 50% shooter. The rest of them are in the 60s.
Here you got ball in the hands of who Landis is guarding, and that's not what they want, but they get the throwaway.
That's a big turnover for Coleman Egan to be able to pick that up.
Game plan from the stands behind us. Landis on the baseline, powers her way and gets the shot, tipped away, taken out by Eide, and a foul going to be called on Flatten. Jolie will pick up her 4th. Landis got popped in the chin going for that loose ball rebound. Just the 3rd team foul against Coleman Egan. So again, got another one to give before you even get him to the free throw line. You got to do it early. Yeah, there's the foul coming. I was going to say they had to get Volker. You got Flatten, Landis up top where the ball's coming in. Everybody else is pushed back. Volker comes flying out of nowhere.
You got to get Hemmer in there.
Yeah, here she comes. She's going to come for Meyer, who's just unable to really get rolling on that knee. They got to bring Quinn back in offensively because she can shoot the 3, and I think that was the thought in that last sub.
Right.
There's the foul. Hemmer and Volker understanding their job right now. You've got to get out there and foul somebody quick. Anya will pick up her first personal to the free throw line. Goes Bria Austin. We saw her yesterday kind of get hot and really shoot the ball well. Today she got 9 points on 1-3. She's 2 of 2 at the free throw line in this game.
I think here we have a offense for defense substitution for Coleman Egan.
And Centerville does the same thing, bringing Hagna in. I think it's more a fact, bring her in for rebounding.
Right, rebounding and not being able to get the ball into Reef.
Second one, no good. Still a 5-point game. 30 seconds to play.
And Reef hasn't scored a lot, but
Landis missed it. Rebound, Meyer. Meyer jumper, got it. Timeout, Coleman Egan.
We're talking, Reef hasn't scored a lot, but 10 rebounds, 7 block shots. She's made a difference in the game.
Yeah, you are a game changer with 7 block shots. There's no doubt about that.
You know, they even pulled everybody out, just opening the lane, looking to drive to the basket, hoping to get probably a basket and maybe an and one.
Maybe Gross and Anya Hemmer are going to check in, and obviously they're coming in defensively because they're going to foul. First time we've seen Gross today, but fairly quick. You got to get her out there to guard the Austin girls and make sure you got a hand on them right away.
And again, Tessa Eide, probably one you'd like to get to the free throw line, but you can't be real picky. Eide hasn't been to the free Tessa Eide hasn't been to the free throw line yet today. Neither has Hagna.
And they honestly, they put Eide in the baseline here the last couple possessions when they know Coleman's going to foul. They just put her down there and left her there.
Right. Knowing who they want to get at the free throw, get the ball to get to the free throw line.
Coleman Egan going to put the 6-footer Meyer Reef over the ball. Now you got to remember, Centerville can run. They can run the baseline.
Reef's got pretty quick feet though, and is able to. And you always have to have a. Oh, now we're going to switch it up a little bit and put her back.
Yeah, knowing she can run it.
Right. But your out-of-bounds person has to remember they can run.
Double dribble? No. Look out, coming at us. Yeah, hit it loose.
Close.
It was close. Again, such a judgment call by an official, and it's a tough call. It's not an easy call when that ball gets loose like that. You're trying to catch it. If there's a couple bodies, ball gets away from you. Did you literally dribble, or did it just hit your hand? And you know.
We even see Landis having to move a little closer to hear coach. She's checked in here, waiting at the scoreboard, but had to move a little bit closer to her coach to hear what the instructions were.
Bria Austin makes good on the first free throw. Now she's 3 for 5 on the game. Her fourth free throw would make it a 5-point game if she can knock it down. Right now, 50-46, 21.8 seconds to play. Both teams with 2 timeouts. Centerville just 2 fouls as well, so something to think about there.
Right.
And now we've talked about this a little bit of full timeout. Going to talk things over for Centerville. Is this a situation where Centerville comes up full court chick, because they can do that, obviously.
Yep.
3-4 dribbles, foul before you get to the half-court line. Do it again just to get it to 3 or 4 team fouls, and now you just settle into play for the last 15.
Be interesting to see if how long it takes, or if it ever happens, where your high school girls at least maybe follow the college, like we talked about earlier in the week, where you call a timeout, you can advance the ball.
And honestly, I think I would like that. I love, again, if you come out on the short side of it because it works for somebody else,
right.
It's no fun. But I mean, it just changes the game and the way you think, and it's more X's and O's at half court. Then it's a fun way for basketball games to be decided, I think.
Yeah, I can see it going both ways, because it does take away some of you've worked on your full court press, make you earn the trip down the court. It'd just be interesting to see. It seems like it takes a few years, but a lot of times the high school follows what the college is, what's happening at the college level.
Yeah, and it's starting to go that way more and more quicker. That and the half circle in the lane, that'll be the next thing too. I wonder if that will happen in high school. Again, another, I think, great change. I think it would be fantastic. Takes a lot of, just calls from the official out of it. Either you're in it or above it. Too strong, rebound. Chased, last touch, Landis. Good hustle. Flatten was right on it. 100-meter dash by Coleman Egan, subs just to get in time to go foul somebody.
Making up for not having track practice this week.
Yeah, that's right. Centerville, length of the floor. A quick foul again.
Yeah, you got Macy Volker pleading her case, pointing to it was her. Doesn't want to pick up her 5th foul.
You take a look at free throw line again, and Bria Austin
coming up big here at the free throw line.
Probably going to see another timeout, I would think, if she makes this one way or the other.
Centerville has a really, I think, their best defensive team on the field, on the court also.
Meyer for 3, too strong, and that'll do it. Centerville, 53-46 over Coleman Egan. Maybe we'll take that break right now, then come back, try to catch up with Coach Tornberg after the award ceremony. So we'll do that. We're back in a moment on SDPB Sports.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
Assistant coaches for Coleman Egan, Josh LaRue and Dave Baylor. And head coach of the Coleman Egan Hawks is Josh Flatten. Coleman Egan, congratulations on your season. The 7th place team in the Class B Girls State Tournament are the Centerville Tornadoes. Players: number 0, Tessa Eide. Number 1, Lydia Austin. Number 3, Peyton Hansen. Number 5, Bria Austin. Number 11, Mackenzie Karstensen. Number 13, Haley Childress. Number 15, Ella Reuter. Number 21, Izzy Eide. Number 23, Madison Karstensen. Number 31, Emery Anderson. Number 33, Sage Martz. Number 35, Evelyn Mark. Number 41, Elizabeth Shearer. Number 43, Ashlyn Hagena. Number 45, Chloe Edberg. Managers for the Tornadoes, Lana Boosman and Claire Edberg. Kennedy Hesch and Haddison Hybertson. Assistant coaches for Centerville, Brady Childress, Peyton Heyer, Jamie Edberg, and head coach for the 7th place Centerville Tornadoes is Tucker Tornberg. A welcome home celebration for Centerville High School will be held at the Purple Gym in Centerville on Tuesday night, March 17th at 6 p.m. Congratulations on your season, Centerville. Coming up next, our 5th place consolation championship game between Lyman and Bennett County will begin in approximately 20 minutes.
I'm not sure. There we got it. We're hot now. Very good. We're going to catch up with Coach Tornberg here in just a moment. Again, the Centerville Tornadoes, Lisa, win the 7th place plaque here at the state tournament. Did everything they needed to do right away. Started this game, jumped out early. Izzy Eide was fantastic that first half.
Yeah, and then they hit some, free throws down the stretch, which was important. They had opportunities to, Coleman Egan looking at opportunities to score, just couldn't get those last few baskets to go in.
Coach Tornberg is getting some handshakes. We're going to see if we can catch him over here in just a moment. I see him. He's coming our way. We'll get him over here. Head coach Tucker Tornberg joins us from the Centerville Tornadoes. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, Brad. Very appreciated.
Talk a little bit about that matchup with Coleman Egan. You guys came out, you got hot early. Izzy Eide carried you that first half. What a performance.
Oh my gosh, she's a special player. The passion that kid puts into the game, the energy she plays with, it's infectious to a whole stadium. She's just one of those kids, I don't know how you don't root for her. She plays the game the right way. She plays hard. She loves her teammates. Super proud of how she played and proud of this whole bunch.
Talk about the defensive job of your team. Again, you held a team that's explosive and 2 really good scorers, and you were able to put them away.
Yeah, Coleman Egan's a great team. Kudos to their coaching staff. Brindley Landis, a senior, she's a fantastic player, has had a heck of a career. We knew that all teams in this tournament were going to be really good, as you know, last year as well. Everybody that's getting here right now is good. It's a testament to the whole state of South Dakota and girls basketball. Proud of our bunch, so we came away with a positive note for our seniors.
Talk about that program, too. There's a lot of pressure on these kids when you're there year after year. This 3 in a row for you guys. What a performance for your team.
Oh, yeah. This was a group that had to find new roles, find our team chemistry this year. The mental toughness that they showed all year and in this tournament, battling really, really good teams and playing hard and bringing energy for 4 quarters for 3 games was really special. I couldn't be more proud of that bunch over there.
Take a little time, enjoy that baby of yours, and have some family time, my friend.
I'm going to enjoy every minute of it, Brad.
Thanks, Tucker. Appreciate you. Tucker Tornberg, head coach of the Centerville Tornadoes. I'll get out of the way so the Lyman Raiders don't run me over. We'll take a break. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
They built the ships that fought at Guadalcanal. They riveted the wings on the planes that bombed Germany. They saved the wounded at Anzio. They broke codes and boundaries, and in so doing, created an enduring legacy. The real stories never before shared from the women who were there. Join us to celebrate the hidden history of the women of World War II, the untold stories.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
Back in First Bank and Trust Arena in Brookings on the campus of South Dakota State University. Centerville 53, Coleman Egan 46. A quick look at stats as the highlights roll behind us. 19 of 52 from the floor for Centerville. 5 of 18 from the three-point line and 10 of 17 from the free throw line, shooting 36% for the game from the field. They grabbed 35 rebounds. They were actually out-rebounded 37-35 by Coleman Egan. Only turned it over 11 times in the contest. For Coleman Egan, they were 17 of 49 from the field, 7 of 23 from 3, 5 of 14 from the free throw line. And they were led, Coleman Egan was led by Brinley Landis, the senior, with 17 points, 13 for Jolie Flatten. Both of those players playing with a little bit of foul trouble. Centerville, on the other side, they got 23 from the super soft Izzy Eide, 10 points from Tessa Eide, and 9 from Bria Austin. No double-digit rebounders. I take that back. Maya Reef had double digits in rebounds, 10 rebounds, and 7 block shots for Coleman Egan. This season, a young gal from Dual High School in Clear Lake wore multiple hats when it came to basketball. Camden Peterines, a junior for the Cardinals, spends most doubleheaders playing varsity on the girls' squad and then jumping up to the announcer booth to help with the call for the boys' game. She's a true dual threat.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
SDPB brings you the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament. You can catch all the action Thursday, March 19th through Saturday, March 21st. For more information, including the multiple ways to watch the games live, go to sdpb.org/basketball. Complete coverage of the South Dakota Boys State Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Dakota Bank and SD Corn.
Camden Peterines was born to be a basketball player.
I love the game of basketball, honestly, for the love of the game. Ever since I was little, it's kind of just been like a family thing, so that's been really cool, sharing that opportunity with my dad and my grandpa also before, just kind of been a big basketball family, and just playing is something I really enjoy.
Her joy of the game of basketball
doesn't just fall to her playing on the court.
Peterines, she's up to 4 points on the night.
It also includes calling the action as a play-by-play announcer for the Dual Cardinals.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Cardinal Gymnasium. Tonight, your Dual Cardinals are taking on the Sioux Valley Cossacks.
So Mr. Mack asked me to announce, it was a C volleyball game, I believe, my freshman year. And it was a cool opportunity, and I kind of, was a little lax, but last year I really started getting big into announcing, going up after my games. It's just something that flowed naturally for me. I got up there, put on the mic, and I just kind of didn't really think about anything, just said what was happening, and it came really naturally because I know a lot of the players on the court and from the opposing teams as well.
Winter attacks, and he wants the jumper, and that's going to roll right in, putting the Cardinals on the board here tonight.
Camden she seems like she's naturally gifted in about anything that I've seen her do, whether it be academically, but especially I would say communication is where her foundation really is. She has a great knowledge of basketball, and she's confident. And that's a big part of being an announcer, is being confident and trusting your instincts.
Over to Rusink, down low, nice pass, and one finish. Nice pass there by Rusink, and Sapp is just able to finish those.
With the vast majority of Dual Cardinal games being doubleheaders, Camden has a busy schedule on game days.
I get through the school day, and then after the game, go into the gym, and I watch the JV girls, kind of, prepping, cheering for them, sitting on the bench, helping them out. And then after that, during the JV boys, kind of gets ready for the varsity game, because a lot of our games are double headers. So that's kind of the time to prepare, get dressed, and then start shooting in the other gym, just trying to get in the right mindset. And then obviously going to play the varsity game. And then after that, it's a talk in the locker room, and then it's a pretty quick change to get up and get on the call and start with the starting lineups.
That is if Camden's head coach, her dad John, gets her out the door on time.
We're honestly so into the game that, we want to make sure we have closure to the game itself. If it was a win, we're celebrating. If it was a loss, we're learning. And I honestly have to be reminded that, hey, it's time to come up to the booth, because I do get kind of wrapped up into the game itself.
Or with a microphone, you can bet Camden is going to be around the game of basketball.
The opportunity for me to almost share my gift with others and have other people, be able to listen, because I know I really enjoy listening to basketball more than watching it without sound, is something that's really cool, and I'm glad that I'm able to share that with others.
Make sure to tune in to Cardinals Live, and we'll catch you next time.
This story, part of this year's Tales from the Hardwood Show. To see the full show, visit sdpb.org/basketball. So Camden Peterines, and it's kind of neat because her dad is able to switch over from boys to girls coaching. First year, he got to coach his daughter this past year here at Dual High School. So good stuff. Other stories available, and if we get the opportunity to play another one of those for you here a little bit later tonight, we will certainly try to get that done as well. As we now prepare for our consolation championship game. It'll be the Bennett County Lady Warriors and the Lyman Raiders in what maybe many thought would be some sort of matchup late in this tournament, and it is on the last day. Just maybe didn't think it was going to be an afternoon matchup, but that's how basketball goes sometimes, right? And Lyman, your number 1 seed in this tournament, came in to the tournament at 21-2, sitting now at 22-3 on the year. Bennett County, the number 3 seed, came in at 20-3. They are at 21-4 on the year. So again, the number 3 seed, Bennett County Lady Warriors, here to my left warming up. As you look at them, we'll talk about how they got here, a little school profile, if you will. Martin, South Dakota, Bennett County. Shauna Evans, the head coach. 76 students in grades 9 through 11, the enrollment number that they use to be a part of this tournament. Purple and gold is the school colors. On Wisconsin is the school song. They got here by beating Edgemont and the Kadoka area. They took it to Ipswich in the Sodak 16, and then the loss to Harding County to open this tournament 58-50. Then knocking off Centerville, your 7th place finisher, 77-68. So this is championship style or caliber basketball here in this consolation championship game. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. Reagan O'Neill, 5'10" sophomore. Harley Harris, 5'7" sophomore. Payson O'Neill, the 6-foot freshman. She's gone over 20 in both games so far. Maddie Wong, the 5'6" junior, will play the point guard. And Kaylee Byrne will play the post, 5'10", and a senior. And as I said, a championship caliber, not consolation championship caliber. I'm talking state championship caliber matchup with these two teams. And I know there were some out there probably picking these two teams to be in that championship game later tonight, but they'll play for the consolation championship here this afternoon instead. The Lyman Raiders, take a look at them. They hail from Presho, South Dakota. Play out of the Presho Gardens there at Lyman High School. Pretty great venue in South Dakota. Cody Vollmer back as the head coach after a year off last year. 63 students in grades 9 through 11, red, black, and white, the colors. Illinois loyalty is the school song. They beat Kimball Whitelake. They beat Burton by 30. They got a 21 or a 31-point victory over McIntosh. And then in the opening round, falling 65-56 at the hands of Corsica Stickney. 53-48 win over Coleman Egan yesterday, and that put them in this consolation championship game. They'll start this way. Bree Smart, a 5'8" sophomore. Kenzie Wagner, a 5'9" junior. Jordan Scott, the 5'11" sophomore, had a rough go yesterday, but was lights out on Thursday. Brooke Montgomery, the other guard, 5'5" junior. And then the senior of this group, 6' Max Scott. Careful, just stop touching my stuff. You always got to mess with me, man. Brad Gower just always got to do something as he walks by my table. Used to like that guy. I'm not sure about him anymore. Thanks, Odes. We get ready to go. The officials are making their way up and down. Both teams back at their huddle already. Still got a minute to talk things over. Let's get your take on. Yeah, let's get your take on this one. I was talking off air. This is a championship level, state championship level matchup that maybe a lot of folks thought was going to be tonight's matchup in the state championship.
Right, and it could have very easily had been that way, but I think we're going to have a good quality basketball game here for this consolation championship. We talked about that a little bit with Wayne Carney earlier in the week, that this is the winner of this game has 2 wins, 1 loss, just like second place, third place. Just as a matter of what game you lost.
Yeah, and it matters to teams to be in this game. Again, it's the matter of getting a nice big trophy compared to a plaque. And the plaque is nice because it shows that you were here, but the trophy's nice. You put that in that display case and shows that you were, just maybe moments from playing in a higher level game.
Right, and we're one of the few states that actually play out all the seeds at the state tournament.
And I know there's the thought out there that we shouldn't. And again, I may be in the minority. I don't know who's thinking what, but I love that we play them out, because as a coach, it gives you a chance, a time with your seniors to know this is it. Let's go out and enjoy this moment for you and for your family and things. So as the clock runs, we can talk about that more as we go. Let's turn it over to public address announcer Al Bahi.
Good afternoon, basketball fans. We're glad you're here in Brookings and inside First Bank and Trust Arena. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard, welcome you to this final day of the State Class B Girls High School Basketball Tournament. Our consolation championship game this afternoon will feature the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Lady Warriors of Bennett County High School, going up against the home team on the scoreboard, the Raiders from Lyman County High School. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of our high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs, so please enjoy the games today and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manners. At this time, let's meet our junior officials for the Consolation Championship game. Our junior officials are sponsored by Swiftel Communications, Zip Trip C-Stores, Cubby Sports Bar and Grill, and 605 Custom Design. Our junior official from Bennett County today is Mackenzie Clausen. Our junior official from Lyman is Quincy Broderick. And now let's meet the starting lineups for each team in alternating fashion. Starting for Bennett County, at guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 0, Reagan O'Neill. For Lyman, at guard, a 5'8" sophomore, number 1, Bree Smart. For Bennett County, at guard, a 5'7" sophomore, number 2, Harley Harris. For Lyman, at forward, a 5'9" junior, number 2, Kenzie Wagner. At a guard for Bennett County, a 6-foot freshman, number 3, Payson O'Neill. At a guard for Lyman, a 5'11" sophomore, number 3, Jordan Scott. At a guard for Bennett County, a 5'6" junior, number 5, Maddie Wan. At guard for Lyman, a 5'5" junior, number 11, Brooke Montgomery. At center for Bennett County, a 5'10" senior, number 25, Kaylee Byrne. At forward for Lyman, a 6-foot senior, number 21, Mac Scott. Assistant coach for Bennett County is Joe Wan. Assistant coach for Lyman is Brooke Scott. Bennett County Lady Warriors head coach is Shauna Evans. Head coach for the Lyman Raiders is Cody Ballmer. Today's lineups are brought to you by Channel C. The officials this afternoon: referee Brad Gower, umpire Jordan Munch, umpire Jordan Oden, and the alternate is Brett Buck. All right, Lady Warriors fans, are you ready? Lyman Raiders fans, are you ready? Let's tip it off. Today's fan section brought to you by the University of South Dakota.
Max Scott, Payson O'Neill, ready to tip it up. Brad Gower will do the toss. And we are ready to go. I don't think Cody Ballmer liked the toss. I was watching his reaction. His arms kind of went out like, wait, what?
Well, every once in a while you see a ref be like, hey, let's have a redo.
Yeah. That was a tough one. Both of those girls are taller than Gower, so he had to throw it way up in the air. Turnover to start things. Again, we've seen that throughout the weekend with Bennett County. They like to muck it up a little bit and just try to cause turnovers, and sometimes that leads to them having turnovers, but they get the first bucket with Reagan O'Neill.
Yeah, they play a real helter-skelter, get after you style of play.
There you see it again. They'll chase one out of bounds this time. It'll be Lyman basketball. Again, we've seen the two Scott sisters lead this team at separate times in their 2 games in the tournament. Mac yesterday, Jordan got it going on Thursday. A little strong for sophomore Jordan Scott that time on the 3-point attempt.
Yeah, Jordan Scott got a little bit of foul trouble yesterday, was a little frustrated, but Sister Mac the day before had pretty tough defensive assignment.
Yeah, everybody on the other team guarding her, so it was
right.
tough to get looks. Harley Harris gets it going again. She did that yesterday for Bennett County. Hit a couple early threes, kind of loosened up things to allow the rest of the team to kind of jump on her back as they got going yesterday. This shot for Lyman, and we're back to the other end all of a sudden.
Yeah, one thing we see with Bennett County, not a lot of fear. They'll let it fly early and often.
Quickly the other way, Brooke Montgomery. 5-2 early on here as we get things going. 2 minutes gone in our opening quarter. Payson O'Neill on the baseline. Swing it around the outside. A little two-post action for Bennett County. O'Neill at the high post. Pull up from 12 on the right side. Up and good. Reagan O'Neill starting to develop again throughout this year, obviously, from last year to this year. Such a better jump shot than a year ago. It was a lot of layups, get to the basket. Now, pull it up from 12 and knock down shots.
Yeah, we've talked about that, their course. Just that you look at the number of young players and their where they're at in their development. Being able to get all the way to the rim and the basket. When do I learn to? I don't have that, so let's look at a pull-up jumper.
Fading away in traffic, Reagan O'Neill. Then they quickly full court press. Lyman will look to run. Jordan Scott swing it all the way across court. Brooke Montgomery inside, foul from behind Harley Harris.
Looking at these two teams play, a lot of youth. You got one senior on both squads. Max Scott for Lyman and Kaylee Byrne for Bennett County.
Yeah, both start, but insane. They're going to bring back a lot of players to their teams.
But have the potential to see these teams for the next few years.
And I think you look all across Class B in South Dakota right now. It's loaded with youngsters. It just is.
Just going to say, it's just because you have the youngsters and you've been to the state tournament, it's not an easy path every year.
No, nothing's a guarantee. Off and running. Taken away by Scott, and then she'll lose the handle. Let's say last touched by Scott. We're going to go media. Jared Oden's right in front of us. We'll take the media timeout. We're back with more. You're watching Class B girls basketball state tournament action on SDPB Sports.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
From First Bank and Trust Arena, we are back out of the media timeout. Maddie Wallen will inbound right in front of us, and we will start our next portion of play. Off the backboard from 23 feet. Bank is still open on a Saturday afternoon.
Special occasion.
Foul going to be called on number 0, Reagan O'Neill.
I think Bree Smart might have hit her funny bone on her elbow a little bit, kind of getting her a little tingling maybe in her fingers, trying to get them working.
It's a tough toss in. O'Neill can get up so quick.
You know, looking at Payson being 6 foot, but then when you extend your arms and your ability to leap, it's tough to inbounds over top of her.
Yeah, her reach has got to be, that's a foul on Bree Smart. Her reach has got to be, what, 8'6", 8'7", just standing reach, I would assume. Probably higher than that even. O'Neill lost the handle. Dribble kick now to Walm. Harris on top. 20 on the shot clock. Walm for 3 again. Too strong that time. Neal got to be careful. She's got that one early foul. There's travel. Max Scott, ball got stuck down there. She brought it down, tried to rip it through. The defense collapsed on it and then made her travel.
Got to keep the ball up high.
Yeah, you got to rip through.
Rip through up high. Just too many hands. In that case, get it caught on the hip.
Payson O'Neal with the bucket inside.
Just see her strength really come into play there.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact, and she made it look like it didn't even happen. Just right through and lay it in.
Especially early in that, when she did have the ball down a little bit lower, it looked like they had really grabbed her arm, and she ripped right through that.
First one up and good. 3 points for Payson O'Neal, and it's 13-2 Bennett County. Scott with the left hand, swinging around right side, then tipped away. Maddie Wall on the run out, no numbers. She's gonna back it out, wait for everybody, redirect traffic. Good take inside by Kaylee Byrne, but just missed the short one.
Lyman's really trying to get out and kind of run, but Bennett County does a great job of getting back on defense.
Maddie Walm that time with the foul on the drive on the baseline.
Lyman looking to get something out of this possession, have had 4 turnovers the last 3.5 minutes, and haven't scored obviously then in those 3.5 minutes.
It's a big possession here for Lyman. Try to get one on the board here and cut into that double-digit lead already. Scott gonna dribble it to the top. Coach Vollmer wants that ball passed around the perimeter. Right wing, Montgomery to Scott. Max Scott down the lane. Little contact, everybody falling down. Now Scott gonna be held on the baseline before the shot. Foul called on number 25, Kaylee Byrne, her first personal.
Bennett County now with 4 team fouls, so Lyman, if they can get to the lane, maybe pick up some fouls on Bennett County, maybe get to the free throw line.
3 on the way. Jordan Scott too strong. Last touch by Brooke Montgomery. Jordan Scott just having a tough time finding the jumper again, Ben. She went off on Thursday to kind of open things up, but has had a tough time finding that 3-point shot since.
Yeah, 28 points on Thursday when Sister Mac only had 6, and then they kind of flipped roles. Mac yesterday having 21, and Jordan still in double figures just with 10.
Kaylee Byrne, no good. Rebound up and no good, but a foul going to be called. Payson O'Neal. Foul going to go against number 3, Jordan Scott. Jordan will pick up her first personal.
We saw her get into foul trouble yesterday, so she's got to just kind of move on from that. Going to take a little break.
Coach Vollmer could see a little frustration after that last miss, too, as she came down there having a little conversation. Yeah. Now she gets to come out and sit next to Mom and hear how to fix it.
Yep. Well, she just got to keep her head up. There's a lot of basketball left to be played. I know these afternoon games can be hard because you're still probably disappointed, especially 2 teams that came in with really high hopes.
Yeah, once you kind of play through that, get through this first quarter, then sometimes you kind of forget about all that, and it's game on again.
Right.
Tipped and kept alive by O'Neal. Harris on the right wing with a jumper as she floats to the baseline. She's got 5, 16-2.
And we talked about just the importance of the consolation championship game. You've won 2 games. You win this, you win 2 games. You just have that 1 loss, no different than 2nd and 3rd.
To the free throw line will go Brooke Montgomery. Foul called on number 25, Kaylee Byrne. Too strong for Montgomery on the first. Montgomery, second one on the way, too strong again. Long rebound. Montgomery will come away with it with 1:15 to play. Fired inside and then just ripped away by Payson O'Neill. Kenzie Wagner about flew into the cheerleaders on that.
Yeah, she had that ball kind of up over her head, and Payson O'Neill just from behind just ripped that right from her.
And then knocked out of bounds. So Wagner still looking at her knees, trying to figure out, am I bleeding? Is that cut open? What just happened to me down here? O'Neill ripped that away like nothing to it.
Still looking for a basket. They had a chance with those 2 free throws, but haven't scored in the last 5 minutes.
Again, that's a tight one. If you roll over, it's travel. She kind of slid. I don't know if she ever did roll over. So long. O'Neill knocks another one away. Payson to the lane, up and in.
That nice little jumper that we talked about earlier. 13-0 run for Lyman, or I mean, excuse me, for Bennett County over Lyman.
Look out, Reagan O'Neill had that one tipped out. They're gonna call that one on Smart, right? Oh, they're gonna call that on Reagan O'Neill. I thought maybe O'Neill had it first.
I thought that's a tough one, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
It's almost simultaneous.
Yep.
Both just going for the pass.
And something probably has to be called because there's a collision and you're trying to keep it safe, but you're right, that was an interesting.
Well, I think because it was Lyman's ball on offense.
Right. Got to give the receiver a path, I suppose. Reagan does pick up her second personal on that foul. And then Bree Smart makes good on both free throws. So
ends that scoring drought of almost 6 minutes.
18-4. O'Neill travel.
Switch the pivot foot.
Yep. Good defense by Max Scott that time. Wong to the lane, kick out. Harris, not enough time. Right idea, just there's a lot of bodies in between. So Bennett County jumps out big to start the first quarter. 18-4. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Ready for quarter number 2, 18-4. Bennett County jumping out.
Yeah, a lot of that Lyman only shooting 13%, 1 of 8. 8 turnovers also, and so that has allowed Bennett County 12 points off the turnovers.
Down inside, that's a good way to get your percentage back up. Get the ball to Max Scott at point-blank range. Mac makes good on her first opportunity inside. Held ball.
Great hustle play by Montgomery. Brooke Montgomery, a 5'5" junior.
It will stay Bennett County basketball. Harley Harris out top, lob it inside. Unable to handle what's Payson O'Neill. They're gonna call it travel as Bree Smart got it. I thought she was dribbling. Not sure referee saw something a little different. Maybe when she took off before the put down of the ball, took a couple shuffle steps.
Well, I don't know. She switched her feet at the start of the drive.
Might have been.
Sometimes it's hard to see the feet with the scorers table here.
Yep. Wong for three, left wing, too strong. Rebound backside, Heather Shaw who checked in.
Heather Shaw just a 5'6" junior.
Too strong, run out, Brooke Montgomery. She's got Bree Smart on the run, left side. Traffic, lets him fly by. Misses the layup, knocked down by her own player. Smart on her right ankle is gonna have to come out.
Yeah, she came down on top of someone.
She grabbed that right ankle instantly. She's gonna try to get up and walk it off, but Coach Volber's gonna go out there and make sure she's okay. Coach Buck, or Mr. Buck down here playing the custodian too. He sees everything. Eagle eye.
Yeah, eagle eye over here.
So you do wear glasses, huh? Weird. Bennett County will take it out. Payson O'Neill at the right baseline. Skip pass all the way out to Harris. That's another part of the game for Bennett County that is a bonus for them. They can throw over top of any zone because they're so long.
So long, so tall.
Strength also. Reagan O'Neill. No good. Ball batted around. Finally last touched by Lyman. Reagan O'Neill will take it out this time. Fired out to Payson way out high. Swing it to Wallen again. Looking at O'Neill in the post. Marley Harris short on the jumper. Payson O'Neill turn around and got to travel again on that baseline. (18-6) Bennett County. So been a little bit of a slow start here for Bennett County in the quarter. Haven't scored for a little while.
Right, you know, Lyman's picked up defensively a little bit. Not that Bennett County hasn't had some good looks. They just haven't got those to fall.
From the corner, Montgomery missed it. Then Max Scott gets it back. So little by little, you got to play defense. You got to give yourself chances. They got it back to 10 now. You get another stop, try to get it underneath double digits. Marley Harris swing it around. Wong on the left side, left wing. Wong. Swing it to Payson O'Neill, has it taken away. Scott will run out, lead it out to Brooke Montgomery. Has to chase it down, stepped on the line, out of bounds. It'll be Bennett County basketball.
Yeah, Bennett County's had 3 turnovers here early in this quarter.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy again. This is the right idea. You could see Jordan Scott saw Brooke Montgomery running out, just threw it too far out in front of her. Good change up, running the backside wing players into the post and then sliding them down. Another takeaway. That's twice in a row. Scott took it from O'Neill. And then a foul on
kind of a
Payson
reaction.
O'Neill, yeah.
Kind of a reaction foul. You reach out to grab it and you end up tripping her. And I think she was really trying to get her hand on the ball.
Yeah, she just reached out to keep the play going, but the body's there, so you call it automatic. But there's a lot of bodies hitting the floor there. In the paint, dump it down. Scott again, Max Scott, the recipient of a nice dish.
So big basket to cut this to a single-digit lead. Just chipping away at it little bit by little bit.
Wall will lob it. Payson O'Neill now. Out top to Harris. Harris to O'Neill. Reagan in the corner. Attack baseline. Step back. Miss. Last touch by Lyman.
Lyman and Bout took each other out.
And we'll go to the media timeout. It is 4:42 to play. Take a break. We're back with more on SDPB Sports.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Back after the media timeout here in the second quarter, 4:42 to play, 18-10. Bennett County, they'll have the ball under their own basket. Lyman has kind of hung around here. They trailed, what, 18-2, 16-2, and then 18-4.
Got some information from Linnell from out in Bennett County. 44 of the 76 students at Bennett County are freshmen.
Wow. They're not going to last in Class A or in Class B very long, then, are they?
That's just kind of a crazy.
That's a big number.
Sophomores through seniors, you got 32.
Yeah. That's on the count anyway.
On the count, yes.
Yeah. That 9th through 11th, actually, that's count would be. So seniors probably a few more still, but yeah, that's amazing. So Juan?
Yeah.
Like Juan?
W-A-N.
Okay.
Juan.
Okay, sounds good. On the wing, down inside, blocked, and saved by O'Neal. Payson will push. On the shot clock, O'Neal on the wing. Down the lane, runner, no good, gets her own rebound up and good. Reagan O'Neal stays with it. Bree Smart to the baseline. Has it knocked away, she gets it back. Grabbed by Wagner, back to Smart. Baseline three, no good. Juan will bring it out. Foul going to be whistled against Lyman. Foul called on number 3, Jordan Scott, her second personal.
Looks like her third.
Oh, that was the one I missed last time. Yep, that's the one. So Jordan again with 3 fouls in the first half.
And, you know,
yesterday was in the first quarter.
First quarter, and you know she played the rest of the basketball game, and is probably used to playing with a few fouls. The big thing is to not get the frustration. You can't let that take over your game.
Yeah, you still got to come back and play offense because they need her on the offensive end to break things up and give big sister Mac an opportunity. There's a good give and go.
And that was just what she needed coming off that foul on the other end.
Here you'll see being directed by Mac. Mac just said, go, I'll get you the ball, and she did. Backdoor cut.
They maybe practiced that a few times.
Yeah, a time or two. Foul called on number 15, Jade O'Neal, who checked in.
Saw considerable action yesterday, Jade did.
And she was
Scored
instant
8 points.
offense when she came in, too, in that first half.
7th grader was kind of had ice in her veins, knocked down a couple threes.
Turnover at the other end.
She had one of those shots, you know, late in the kind of the game when they were trying to take control of the possession count, and that a coach kind of goes, no.
Good shot.
Good shot. But then we took a timeout and talked about it.
Yeah, that 3 in the corner. Foul called on Bennett County. to Harley Harris, her second personal, I believe. Yes.
The game of runs, because Lyman was making a good run there, got it to single digits, now kind of back up to 11-point lead for Bennett County.
Foul going to be called on Jade O'Neill. She picked up another quick foul.
She did that yesterday too.
Yep.
Came in and plays a little bit more with her hands and her feet right now as a 7th grader.
And as fast and as quick as she is, once she learns that she doesn't have to do that, she'll be a great defender.
Good shot of Maddie Wan.
Yeah.
Talking to her right there. Talking, I think, about that exact thing. Not using your hands, using your feet. Get your hands up.
Yeah, be long with your arms. Get them out there and be in passing lanes.
That's been so fun this week. Just seeing the kids, the respect they have for each other. When I'm maybe giving you some advice, you're taking that advice. Sometimes you don't always get to see that.
Mason O'Neill knocks down the 3. The cut. Jordan Scott missed it with the left hand. Saved by Reagan O'Neill. Back to Wan. Wan will push now. Left wing. Harris. 3 on the way. He's going to have to bank. No, left it short. Tipped around. Montgomery will push it out. Bree Smart one-on-one with Harris. Pump fake and then takes it up and in. Nice job by Bree Smart to go off of 2 feet, come to a jump stop, get the defense moving, and then finish.
And that's what they needed. They needed to get a basket.
Jade O'Neill with the 3 in the corner.
Just so much fun to watch, the excitement that they bring to the game.
Yeah, they play with emotion. There is absolutely no doubt about that. It's 29-15. That's going to be player control. Offensive foul called on number 11, Brooke Montgomery. Watch it right at you. Pretty good job by Harley Harris. She had position. She is allowed to have a spot.
Right, does such a great job defensively. You know, we talk about playing with emotion, and they play with such a positive emotion. They get a call, they don't argue. You can maybe tell they're not real happy, probably more so with themselves.
That banked in from the corner. Reagan O'Neill with the 3. That is not good math right there to use the board.
No.
Foul on Payson O'Neill.
The physics on that shot were interesting.
See that a lot, though, how it banks from that angle, and never understand, but you do see that here. See if we can get a shot of it. There it is. Yep, just off
barely.
The top. Well, Coach said aim for the corner of the white square. The little one we meant, the little square. Bree Smart with the first free throw.
That's another thing that's kind of gone by the wayside, being able to use the backboard to score.
Miss and the push out by Lyman. 32 seconds to play. Montgomery loses the handle. They'll say last touch by Bennett County.
Yeah, that was another close call, though, on the arm extending.
Yeah, she was almost able to stop herself as she started
right,
to push.
She started
didn't go all the way.
And it's just sometimes just a reaction.
And sometimes it looks worse than it maybe is because that defender is on the arm and then they leave and you're holding that pressure and you just go with the body and then everybody thinks you push.
Bennett County really pushing the basketball.
Maddie Wan for 3.
They've made 6 of their last 8 shots here to end, to kind of bring the end to the second quarter.
And 5 of those have been 3-pointers.
Yeah.
With 4-3. Wan gonna get a shot? No.
No. Side against that. Got Max Scott and Jordan Scott in front of you.
21-point lead, 35-16, or a 19-point lead, excuse me, Bennett County over Lyman. We'll take a break. We're back with more. SD-PB Sports.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Welcome back to halftime at First Bank and Trust Arena. Brad DeBeer alongside Lisa Bahi and South Dakota High School Girls Basketball State Championship action here today. There you see Mom and Dad O'Neill out of the timeout. Abby Crodeville. They are SDSU alum, actually. Abby's not an alum, but she did play here for a year. Played basketball here at South Dakota State.
Yeah, she played in the era when they were just making that Division I transition with the Gen Working teams and that era. I think Dad was here prior to that. Played a little, I don't know, I heard a little baseball, a little bit track.
Football, he was on the football team, yeah. I wanted him to stand up and flex, but I didn't want to tell him to say that. I didn't want to say that. Anyway, let's just look at some highlights. Hot shooting for Bennett County. As you see, Maddie Wan hit a couple. Little jumper from Harley Harris. Payson O'Neill kind of took over inside. Was able to get things really rolling. Max Scott, as Lyman finally started to get going a little bit, they were able to find her in the paint 3 straight times. Then a big block by Payson O'Neill. Reagan O'Neill hits a 3. And the excitement she plays with, just contagious. And then the 7th grader.
Yeah, just 1 3 for her, but a big 3. Maddie Wan with the 2 threes that we saw. You've got Payson O'Neill has 9 points, and Reagan O'Neill has 12 points. Hard to keep track of all of them.
Yeah, well, Reagan hit a couple threes there, and you look at from the 3-point line in that first half, Bennett County just under 50%, 7 of 15, so 7 threes for them. And if they're going to start shooting the ball from long range at a clip of 46%, nobody's going to beat them. I mean, that's how it's going to happen. In the opening night, they didn't get some of those shots to go down. Harley Harris hit a couple, but really no one else got going.
Yeah, you know, Bennett County in that opening game just really struggled from the 3-point line, only 3 of 13.
As you take a look at some of the other stats, you've got some of those in front of you. We'll do those before we throw it back to break.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at just total points, you know, but rebounds. Bennett County has 22 rebounds compared to Lyman's 12. Big thing, you know, Bennett County, we've seen with the style of play they have, 8 turnovers probably is low for them.
Yep.
But Lyman, 12 turnovers, and that's kind of hurt because it's led to some second chance points for Bennett County. They have 18 points off of turnovers and 5 off of second chance points.
2 or 3 of those turnovers on Bennett County happened right here in front of us, where Jordan Scott just flat out picked the ball away from Payson O'Neill. She turned to bring it back out. And so, again, it hasn't affected Bennett County much, but we will see how it plays out as we get back into a second half and see what these teams decide to do with adjustments. And again, I don't think you see Bennett County make a whole lot of adjustments. Everything they're doing right now is working. They're just going to try to bring more and more energy at you. And if you're Lyman, you got to figure out a way to sustain, keep them out of the lane, and then get buckets at the other end.
Right, you know, I think Lyman's got to come out. They got to find a way to get some points. You know, they're 0 of 6 from the three-point line. You know, you see Lyman out here. They don't spend a lot of time in the locker room at halftime. I'm guessing Bennett County is probably not talking about a lot in the locker room, maybe just getting hydrated.
And resting a
little bit. They spend a lot of energy on the floor.
Well, and again, you go up and down that schedule of Lyman's and you take a look. They haven't had to make a ton of adjustments because they've been ahead in most of those games. You know, you win that many games, not a lot of adjustments needed when you're winning all the time. So you get here and things happen, and it's just you try to just do what you do. And maybe that's where Cody Vollmer is as far as, hey, we're not going to adjust. We've done everything we need to do to get to this point. Play our style of basketball. They don't have to make a lot of adjustments. So
right.
We'll see how they come out. We've got about 3.5 left here at halftime. We'll take a break. Back with our second half when we return on SDPB Sports.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Well, about 1.5 minutes left here in our halftime as Bennett County, a 19-point lead at 35-16, 1 point better than what they beat Lyman earlier in the year on an 18-point victory back earlier in the season. So, again, teams that are familiar with each other, but boy, again, you watch Lyman against some of these other teams, you're like, wow, the size they've got. They look small against Bennett County. That's the thing.
Yeah, you look at Lyman, though. They have 5 players that are 5'10" or taller. Bennett County just has the 4, but 6 foot, 5'10", 5'10", 5'10" for Bennett County, where Lyman has your 6 foot, 5'11", and then 3 at 5'10". So they do have that height. Some of those players from Lyman we don't see on the court very much right now.
And you were talking about during the break the difference in point differential throughout the year with their opponents too. Bennett County really puts it on some of their teams.
Yeah, you know, usually outscoring their opponents by almost 28 points, where Lyman right at that 21 points. You can go down the list and look at their common opponents, and they've both beat up on all those teams, but usually Bennett County was favored or had won by about 10 more points than what Lyman had.
Both teams back out on the court. It'll be Lyman basketball to start the second half. We'll wait for our clock to expire. Now we go check it at 8 minutes, and we're back in action here in our second half of play. Already got a body on the deck. Different starters here to start the second half for looking to see who's not out there. Harley Harris is out there. Juan is out there. Did not start Kaylee Byrne.
Right.
So went small by starting Chloe Loudon.
Probably match up a little bit better on the perimeter that way. And maybe looking at the two O'Neills to play a little more inside.
Byrne, of course, maybe foul trouble too. She's got
Right.
2. Does she have 3 fouls? I don't see her up on the board. I think I had her for 2, but I missed one, so I bet she has 3.
She has 3 personal fouls, as does Harris.
Yeah, Scott makes good on both. Max Scott gets the scoring started, and a quick turnover. Lyman back the other way. Down the lane, Bree Smart up and no good. Rebound, Payson O'Neill. Push out to Harris down the sideline. Harris looking corner to Loudon. Loudon will catch, back to Harris. Long skip pass to Reagan O'Neill. Attack, leave it down inside, but O'Neill going to be fouled before they get that one away. Foul called on number 11, Brooke Montgomery. That'll be her second personal. Reaching in to try to knock that ball away and then grabbing the wrist of O'Neill. Payson O'Neill on the inbound. Juan back to O'Neill. O'Neill on the baseline. No, steps back to 18. Got it. Little step back jumper now. Payson showing all of the shots that she has in the bag.
Bringing out all the different moves that they've worked on. Not quite a 3. Toe was on the line.
Look out, Scott gets rolled up on by Loudon. A foul going to be called. Loudon picks up her first.
Again, Loudon coming out, just an 8th grader. Defensively playing a little bit more with her hands than her feet. Was a little flat-footed and got caught up in that one.
Jordan Scott, free throw. First one is good. Coach Vollmer. Have a conversation over here with Bree Smart. Both free throws good. Losing the handle again, diving in. Reagan O'Neill, man, she just gives herself up to get loose balls, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. She sacrifices everything. And tell you what, when Bennett County plays, they keep the girls with the mops quite busy. Getting out there and cleaning up the floor.
O'Neill, spin move, big step. They're going to say travel. And they have called that travel all weekend long. I guarantee you that's a conversation amongst officials in the back room and coming into the state tournament. I know it is, as a matter of fact. Had that conversation with an official from up north earlier this year about just the coach's side thoughts of that call, and he and I had a good conversation about that. But we talked about that. Was it yesterday or Thursday? But just if it is, it is. Call it if it is, and if it isn't, let it go. I mean, there isn't one way to call it. It's just too much in between.
We'll just call it, be consistent, call it, and the players will adjust.
Yes, and that's what's been done this weekend for sure.
And we've seen it a few times in this game, and I'm sure they're all thinking, okay, they're calling it, so I got to go to an alternate move.
37-20, back to 17 here.
Probably
Chance
still,
to cut into it again.
You probably still see it once in a while because it becomes kind of a habit, just a reaction.
Wide open, and then a foul on Juan. Maddie Juan picks up her second personal. Unable to finish on the drive was Wagner. She'll get 2 free throws.
Bennett County is still trying to discuss a little bit who's supposed to be guarding who, so.
First one, no. You talk about that spin move. You know, it's being taught so much at a lot of these private workouts, and that's the big thing right now. And again, if you do it right, it's a great move, right? But if you pick that foot up, to travel. So you have to learn how to do it right. Don't just watch a video and say, well, I can do that move. That's not really how it works.
And to practice it correctly.
Yes.
Sometimes we see it and we think we're doing it correctly, but we're not practicing it correctly. And when you're practicing with no one around, which we hope a lot of our athletes are doing,
right,
you don't have a referee telling you there that that's a travel.
No. feels like a great move.
Right.
3 on the way, no good from Scott. No touch. It'll be Bennett County basketball. 5:40 to play in our third quarter.
And you watch some of those college athletes and NBA athletes, and there's different rules that they have to understand that teams have to follow.
O'Neal down the lane, missed it. Payson O'Neal with the rebound, rips it and goes right back up and in. 4 points in the quarter for O'Neal. She's got, 13 in the game.
Got loud in the game. One thing, she's out here making sure Jordan Scott is not going to get the basketball. She has no idea what's going on the rest of the court.
Juan, kick a baseline, O'Neal. O'Neal, good patience. To Reagan O'Neal, a short corner. She just double dribbled. We'll take the media timeout. At 4:53 to play in our third, we're back with more on SDPB Sports.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride. The values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
We're back from the timeout. 39-21 as Bennett County comes out of the huddle, ready to go. We're back to action. An 18-point lead for Bennett County. Been comfortable for them since that first quarter. They jumped out big, 18-4 right away, and just have kind of coasted and cruised to this 18-point lead.
Yeah, we haven't had a whole lot of scoring here to start the third. Teams defensively maybe changing up a little bit here and there.
Scott, they'll move Jordan way out high to try to get touches. And that zone for Bennett County makes it so difficult to get the ball inside.
Well, they're playing kind of a man with just face guarding Jordan Scott earlier, now coming out in the zone from the media timeout.
Loudon lost the handle, got it back. Checking back in, Kaylee Byrne, and then misses the short jumper. The run out, travel as Scott tried to push out. Jordan was going to push that ball ahead, just lost the handle, took an extra step in there. Doing the right thing, looking ahead, going to get that ball pushed out, get a layup, and just miss the handle. Kind of got it rushed a little bit. Taken away on the other end. Montgomery loses the handle as Juan just ran right through her.
She did.
No
really,
contact.
Really smart play by Juan just to not get a foul there. But then Montgomery lost the handle. Bennett County turns it over, dribbling on the sideline.
Loudon will come out after the turnover, and Harley Harris will come back in. Smart, top of the key. It's the little 1-2-2 now, 3-2 matchup.
Right.
This is where they like to bait you into that cross-court pass and then just jump it.
Yeah, you have one of the O'Neals up high, one down low. Lyman have a little bit more size on the bottom of that, because we've seen both O'Neals be up on top prior to this.
Kaylee Byrne picks up her fourth personal, so quickly back in. Jade O'Neal. Now you got an all O'Neal front line. Three on the way, no good for Jordan Scott. Harley Harris will grab and go. Lose a handle on it, kick it up to Maddie Wan. Wan to Harris, Harris to Wan. Foul call on number 5. Wan picking up her third. So Coach Vollmer's sister is married to assistant coach Wan of Bennett County. So there's another connection.
Another connection.
Had that sent to me a little bit ago. I forgot to mention that.
You have to say that slow so you can think about it.
And I had to say that right. I think that's how it was. I have to go back and look. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. So just crazy connections everywhere. 39-22. Jordan Scott back to the free throw line. Most of her points have come from the free throw line tonight. 4 in a row now, 5 out of 7. She's got 7 points.
We talk all those connections. That's why, you know, our tournaments typically are pretty well attended.
Yeah.
Because you probably know someone that's playing, or it might be related to someone somehow that's playing.
Payson O'Neill with a 3.
That ended about a 2.5 minute scoring drought for Bennett County.
Out top, Bree Smart. Down low, Max Scott. Jordan Scott setting a back screen down there. That was a crazy set.
You know, if you're Lyman, you just got to chip away here a little bit going into this end of this third quarter.
9 threes in the game for Bennett County. Lob to Scott inside. They're going to be a foul call before the shot, a hold underneath.
9 threes and you're shooting 50% from behind the arc.
Yeah, not bad. Going to win quite a few games. Jade O'Neill picks up her 3rd personal.
On the flip side of that, Lyman's still looking for their first 3. They're 0 of 8.
Scott again at the free throw line. She's making a living there tonight.
She is. She's a pretty good free throw shooter on the season, shooting 75%, leads the team.
Reagan O'Neill way out high now on the right side. Bennett County can be a little patient here, but they're going to let her fly. Just keep shooting when you feel like Payson O'Neill, another 3. 19 in the game for O'Neill. Skip pass, Scott underneath, off the glass, no good. Rebound, Scott. Foul on, I believe that's going to go on Jade O'Neill again. That'll be her 4th personal. She'll have to have a seat, I would assume. It is. O'Neill slapping at that ball underneath.
I think her sub's waiting at the scorer's table.
Heather Shaw, I would assume, will be who comes in. Yep. Max Scott back to the free throw line. Missed the first. She got 8 points in the game. And that one is good.
Max Scott also, she's about a 70% free throw shooter. You can tell those two have spent a lot of time in the gym.
Just about a 3rd in a row. Look out. Lyman basketball. Everybody thought foul, but both referees had the open hand.
Yep.
Again, that's what I looked at right away. So that's going to be just a violation or out of bounds, whatever. Bree Smart against that 3-2. Now maybe more of a 2-3, kind of flattened it out a little bit this time. Jordan Scott down the lane, missed it with the left, back up again with the left, no good.
Allers with a quick foul there.
Coach Vollmer said, Jay, one time just go to the backboard with that shot. And again, that's a tough shot, those floaters that she's making, that she has made, but It's just, it's not an easy shot. Lob across, or a skip pass, I should say. Now down in the corner again, O'Neal. Never could get squared up. I think she'd have let that fly if she'd have been squared up to it.
Yeah, I agree. You know, you talk about that floater, and Jordan probably has learned that at a young age. With her height, really doesn't need to shoot a floater anymore.
Oh, swatted back right up Juan's forehead. Bree Smart, the other end, good pass by Jordan Scott, and Bree able to finish. Juan. A foul, going to be a blocking foul on Brooke Montgomery.
That'll be her third.
Again, not a bad foul. You're trying to amp up the defense a little bit, get people excited, and you know, you don't put them at the foul line. It's your third foul of the quarter. It's just that it's her third personal, so she's got to be a little bit careful. Reagan O'Neal, travel, nope. I thought it was the left foot was the pivot, but it was the right.
Yep.
Down to 30 on the touch on the block. Scott will push it out.
Lyman wanting to get one shot.
In the corner. Montgomery, no. Rebound, Reagan O'Neal. It's hard to get offensive rebounds against them. Under 10 to play in the quarter. Consolation championship game. Reagan O'Neal, three, no. And O'Neal, the pacing with the putback, no good after the buzzer. 48-30. An 18-point lead here as we head into our final 8 minutes for the Lady Warriors. We'll take a break. We're back with more on SD.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects, we empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
Since 1882, we've raised 5 generations of hardworking Americans on this land. Our great-great-grandfather believed in something simple: respect the land and it will provide. Anthem Oats, grown by us, shared with you.
Back for the final 8 minutes. You got a few stats from that quarter. Let's look at how that went.
Well, just one of the big stats, I think, you look at, you've got Bennett County with 48, Lyman 30, but a lot of that comes back from that first quarter, the 18-4 start that Bennett County. Since then, they played pretty even. In fact, Lyman had 14 compared to Bennett County's 13 that period. So Lyman coming out at halftime really aggressive. We saw defensively working really hard. They've closed that rebounding gap, taking care of the ball a little bit better. They only have 16 turnovers. They had 4 early in that period, but took care of the ball better at the end of the period.
Lyman basketball to start the quarter. Again, you got to chunk up this last 8 minutes. Can you go 2 minutes at a time and knock it down 4 or 5, then knock it down 4 or 5, cut that lead in half? The goal has to be to cut it in half and try to, you know, there's no 18-point play, so you get it down to 9, and with that last 3-4 minutes, now you got a chance.
And just, you got to take care of the basketball when you have it. You got to get something out of it.
Payson O'Neal inside. Missed that one. Reagan O'Neal the rebound. Up and under the other side of the rim. Sometimes Reagan gets going a little fast, I think, and that's why she misses some of those shots. But again, just freaky athletic, so. On the wing. Bree Smart back out top. Montgomery. High post back Scott. Lyman not real urgent yet offensively. Flip it. Brooke Montgomery, 3 in the corner. No. Rebound, Reagan O'Neal.
I think those are so tough when you've got 5'10" leaper coming at you and trying to get that shot off.
And it's easy to say, well, just pump fake them, but she's pretty good with her timing, too.
She is.
Good ball movement by Lyman, just unable to attack the basket out of it. Max Scott for three. No, too strong back iron. Reagan O'Neill, another rebound. Reagan 8 now, I think. No good for O'Neill.
Lyman still looking for their first three on this end.
Heather Shaw with that offensive glass. Payson O'Neill again, let her fly. No, too strong. Foul, Maddie Wan. Her 4th personal. Maddie gonna have to be careful here over the next 3 minutes anyway. We're gonna get a timeout, full timeout taken by Lyman. With that, we'll take away or step away for a quick break. Back with more on SDPB Sports.
Our Peterson Farm seed reps, real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm seed reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
6 minutes and 15 seconds to play in our Consolation Championship, where Bennett County continues to lead handily, 18-point lead, and they got it to there, and it's just stuck. It's just been comfortable for them. Trading baskets or trading turnovers is kind of how things have gone here in the second half.
Right, you know, if you're Coach Bulmer, what do you talk about coming out of that timeout?
Yeah, you take care of the basketball, get quality possessions, don't throw it away like that.
Right.
And then at the other end, you got to block out and don't give up offensive rebounds. Somehow you got to get bodies on them.
Well, I think they need to look to attack the lane a little bit.
Yeah.
They're kind of relying on that three-point shot, and we haven't scored one yet. And I think it's important, you know, Bennett County will foul. They've got 20 fouls compared to Lyman's 8, trying to maybe make something happen, get to the free throw line and score some with the clock stopped.
Plenty of timeouts remaining. Again, people are like, you got to get a timeout in there. What do you tell them? Make more shots? Like,
right.
When you're getting shots, there's not a whole lot more to say when the ball just doesn't go in the hole.
I think I'll be getting some higher percentage shots and quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to attack a little more sense of urgency, attack the basket, just like you said.
I agree. There's a foul. Reagan O'Neill didn't need to probably do that, but again, that's how they play. They don't quit. There's that 3-2 matchup again. They move Reagan O'Neill down to the bottom, and they move Payson O'Neill now up top. They switched it from where it was before.
Right.
And then Payson takes it away. On the run out, Payson up off the glass and good. I've seen video of Reagan on a breakout grabbing the rim, touching the rim in the gym, just in an open gym thing. So that'll be the next thing, right? When in high school girls in South Dakota will we have our first dunk?
Well, I walked into the gym in Pierre my first day there to see Sam Ostrello from Fort Pierre, but she came over to open gym a lot. You walk into the gym and you see someone go up and touch the rim, and you're like, what? I didn't know that was, and then I found out she was across over at Fort Pierre.
Yep, went on to play at Purdue, had a great career at Purdue. Still playing professionally overseas, actually.
I think she...
Or just maybe just
finished,
retired,
I think she just finished firefighting school, and has a little one.
Was a personal trainer. And
yep.
Yeah, I coached against her in the state tournament back in 2007, 2008 when she was at Stanley County. Heather Shaw gets the three-point play. She had the biggest hands I've ever seen for a girl. She could walk around, just palm the basketball.
I think she went up and at least dunked maybe a
volleyball or smaller
volleyball, a little bit smaller than a basketball.
Actually, in this gym, I watched her do it at a SDSU camp one time, at Elite camp, I think, an individual camp we were at.
Oh, yeah.
I worked a camp for AJ one year, and she was here. She just hung out because she was a gym rat, and everybody else went to eat, and she just stayed around trying to dunk.
Yeah, I think she was born in Spain.
Yeah, that could be. I was walking the halls of the mall in Sioux Falls one day. Said, hey, the Gophers play Purdue tomorrow. I'm going to text Sam. Got me third-row tickets. Went the next day and watched her play against the University of Minnesota. 53-32. Reagan O'Neal on top. Checking in was Olivia McMillan, by the way, number 11. 3:56 to play. Scott for three. Jordan Scott gets one to fall finally.
Finally, 1 of 12, so a big three-pointer for Lyman.
Again, got about 90 seconds here to make a run at it and see if he can close that gap. Marley Harris will shoot the three, and then they get a foul called. We're going to go to the media timeout. 3:27. I think they forgot about it because it's so low. We'll see. We had the timeout before, so now we got to hit the media. We'll take a break. We're back with more on STPB.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse. And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
Just back out of the timeout.
Got 3 free throws here for Harley Harris. Fouled on that last 3-point attempt.
Harley will make good on the first. Chance to go to double digits here with another made free throw. And that one's in and out. Harris will ready. Shot on the way is good. Blocked by O'Neal. She blocked that with the left hand. Just about again, but a foul this time. They're going to call body on that one. Payson O'Neal. He elevated on that first one and
she
quickly.
Did, yes.
Montgomery at the free throw line. Brooke will make the first. And off the front to the back. Good for Brooke Montgomery. Payson O'Neal tried to get it to a cutting Chloe Loudon, who was a little quicker than what Payson O'Neal thought it would be. Threw it right behind her out of bounds.
Whoops.
3 for Jordan Scott.
One of those lines just kind of sometimes jump up and grab you.
Jumped up. That's why I walk slow when I'm out there. Loudon will throw it out right side. Harris, top of the key. Poked away and a foul going to be called.
And I think we got a hockey line change coming here for Bennett County.
Yep, they're going to sub out. Brooke Montgomery will pick up the fourth. We're going to get the subs. Juan will come back in with
Heather Shaw,
Byrne, Jade O'Neill, Heather Shaw, and who am I missing?
The one, I think at the elbow maybe?
Oh, right there, number 13
Addison
would be
Byrne.
Addison Byrne. Yeah, we saw her yesterday.
So Byrne, the two Byrne sisters get to play
Together.
a little bit here together.
Pretty cool.
Addison Byrne just being an 8th grader also.
Jade O'Neill knocks that one out of bounds. Scott, kick out. Max Scott to the left baseline. Up and in for Max Scott.
Nice baseline drive. Under control, good finish at the end.
Juan will cross it over. Kick it left wing, or left baseline rather. Back to Juan out top on the wing. Heather Shaw to Byrne. Addison to Kaylee now. Step through. Max Scott with the rebound, and a foul going to be called against Bennett County, but that's number 4, so no free throws yet with 1:51 to play. Foul is called on number 1.
Wasn't sure if it was going on 1 or 25, and if it was on Burns, it would have been her 5th. So she's probably thankful that went on Heather Shaw instead.
Scott again, 3 straight. Couldn't get that going in the first half, but certainly has done it. It's 10 points all of a sudden with a minute and a half to play.
Right. Yeah, give Lyman County credit, or Lyman for credit for not giving up.
Yeah, kept on shooting. That's going to prompt Coach Evans to bring players back.
Yeah, got 2 O'Neills at the table looking to come back in. I think some of the difference too was just the lack of height on the perimeter, being able to shoot over. I'm not sure who was guarding her, but compared to one of the O'Neills with the height that they have and the long arms.
Juan left it short. Out will come Byrne and Heather Shaw. No, Heather Shaw stayed on. Who's the other one that came on? Jade
Byrne
O'Neill.
and Jade O'Neill.
Juan will make good on the free throw. Coach Vollmer just having a conversation with some parents behind us from Bennett County, smiling and chuckling back and forth. That foul called on Kaylee Byrne. That'll be her 5th personal. Back will come Harley Harris. And the senior Kaylee Byrne will foul out of her final game as a Bennett County Lady Warrior, but
Fighting the
looking to be
emotions.
looking to be maybe a consolation champion. There's some hugs on the bench.
Yeah, you had the emotions for the excitement of hopefully being able to hang on with the win, but yet also being your last, knowing it's your last game on this squad.
Jordan Scott, free throw up and good. Again, we'll try to touch base with the winning coach at the conclusion of awards in this one. Harris, reverse layup up and in.
I don't think that ever touched her left hand.
Nope,
The
kept it in her
whole
right the whole
possession,
dribble.
Yep.
I don't even know if she patted it to get it up off the glass.
No, she didn't.
Now Harris will take it out, sideline. Kick it to Payson O'Neill. Payson thought about the 3. Swing it around. Now all you gotta do is, well, they're gonna let it fly, maybe a little early. Now the bench will clear for both teams. We'll have hugs and handshakes on the way out. And again, this Bennett County team, they're one lone senior already out. Now you see some emotion here with Max Scott. Mac, a senior, what a career for Lyman. She'll share a hug in a moment with Coach Vollmer. Right there in front of us.
Got a little chuckle out of Coach Vollmer directing his daughter where to go check in at. Aspen Vollmer, just a 7th grade, stepping up on the floor. We had a good shot there. You were talking about Max Scott. and what she's done for Lyman basketball, and the only senior on the squad.
Career leader in points, rebounds, assists, and steals at Lyman in girls basketball.
4-time All-Conference, 3-time All-State.
Will definitely be on that list again this year of as an All-State player. Of course, Aspen Vollmer, Coach Vollmer's 7th grade daughter, has an older sister playing at the University of North Dakota. What, sophomore?
I believe a redshirt freshman maybe, so her second year up there.
Yeah. See her once in a while, depending on matchups and different things with the teams they play. Holy cow. Good save.
Good save on the monitor and everything else.
I'm glad she didn't come over the top of this, because I'd have been back here by these guys. Olivia was going full tilt as she was chasing that ball down. And the buzzer will sound, and that will do it. Bennett County, your consolation champions, with a 58-47 win over the #1 seed Lyman Raiders. We're going to take a quick break, come back and have awards. We're back with more on SDPB Sport.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Peterson Farm Seed Reps real-life seed heroes, well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson Farm Seed Reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
Welcome back. Time for awards. Here's Al Bahi.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time we will present the team awards for the 5th and 6th place matchup in Class B. Presenting the awards this afternoon from the South Dakota High School Activities Association Board of Directors are Chris Long and Jeff Costers. Other corporate sponsor presenters are Jen Wickstrom from Farmers Union Insurance and Major Whitney Brunsma. The 6th place team in Class B is the Lyman Raiders. Number 0, Aspen Vollmer. Number 1, Bree Smart. Number 2, Kenzie Wagner. Number 3, Jordan Scott. Number 4, Liliana House. Number 5, Claire Griffith. Number 11, Brooke Montgomery. Number 12, Avery Brackey. Number 20, Jada Lillebo. Number 21, Mac Scott. Number 22, Ella Ehlers. Number 23, Josie Jessup. Number 24, Chloe Collins. Number 30, Avery Middleton. Statisticians for Lyman are Maggie Lingaman, Chaselyn Nogi, and May Stanley. Assistant coach for Lyman is Brooke Scott. And head coach of the Lyman Raiders is Cody Ballmer. Lyman, congratulations on your season. And now let's recognize your consolation champions, the Lady Warriors from Bennett County. Number 0, Reagan O'Neill. Number 1, Raven Heathershaw. Number 2, Harley Harris. Number 3, Payson O'Neill. Number 4, Macy Clausen. Number 5, Maddie Wan. Number 10, Chloe Loudon. Number 11, Olivia McMillan. Number 12, Riley Hicks. Number 13, Addison Byrne. Number 14, Bella Heathershaw. Number 15, Jade O'Neill. Number 25, Kaylee Byrne. Student managers for Bennett County, Izzy Christensen and Ember Clifford. Assistant coach for Bennett County is Joe Wan. And head coach for the consolation champion Bennett County Lady Warriors, Shauna Evans. Bennett County, congratulations on your season and 5th place finish. Lyman Raider fans, there will be a post-tournament celebration back at the Brookings Inn in the Lyman Hospitality Room immediately following today's game. Your post-tournament celebration will be at the Brookings Inn at the Lyman Hospitality Room.
And the Bennett County Lady Warriors, your consolation champions. Lisa, your take on that one? Again, we talked about it. That first half, Bennett County was just ready to play this game.
At about
they just came out of the gates. You know, that first quarter, outscoring them 18-4. If you look at the second half, Lyman actually outscored Bennett County 31-23. So just worked really hard, just too much to overcome in that first quarter.
Shauna Evans celebrating with her Lady Warriors, and we'll try to get her in just a second. She's talking with her assistant coach, so making her way over. She's got medals in hand. Coach, congratulations, nice job. We always got to share a hug. We were hallway mates last year at state tournament. So, hey, talk a little bit about your team. You came out tonight or today, and they were ready to play for a consolation championship.
They were. Thursday was really hard for us to come in. We didn't execute the way we thought we were going to, and I think that really stuck with them because Friday and Saturday they were ready. No matter how tired they are, these girls really show up no matter what. So.
How hard was it? We talked on Thursday to be that last game, and you've got a group that is high energy. So to keep them relaxed all day to come out and play, how hard is that?
It is hard. I have to bring out mama voice, like sit down, chill out. So, no, they're high energy, you know, and Hardin County brought it, and I think we just tried to match. They were trying to speed us up, so we tried to go faster instead of counteract, and it happens. Hardin County played a great game, and basketball was in their favor, so.
Yeah, you come out and a lot of pressure on your kids, obviously, from the track to the basketball, and you come out, you're the defending state champs. This tournament is so good. It was from the start, everybody talked about it could be anybody's, and with one way or another, you got a buddy here, you better have him with you. Let's get him on camera. It could have been anybody's, and again, it's one possession here or there.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Like, 1st through 8th place here is a dogfight. Like, 8th place is just as hard to get as it is to win 1st place here. And so, you know, and we learned that last year. Like, it's anybody's game. You just whoever shows up. And, you know, like, to get to state, you even got to have a little bit of luck sometimes. And that's just how basketball is. We had a lot of luck last year going in. And any team, you replay every B tournament, you're going to have a different winner every night.
You got it. Hey, congratulations on a great season again, and get some rest.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
You had Shauna Evans, head coach of the Bennett County Lady Warriors. We'll take a break, come back, recap it, get out of here for a little bit, come back and get you set and ready for championship Saturday night from First Bank and Trust Arena on SDPB Sports.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
What does primary care mean to us? At Sanford Health, it means being there when and where you need it most. It means building a relationship, because when a provider really knows you, they can deliver the best care for every aspect of your health and your life. So what does primary care mean for you? It means understanding your health for today and for where you're headed next. It means a lifetime of care for a lifetime of you.
From inside First Bank and Trust Arena, it is again growing eerily quiet, but fans are hanging around a little bit more here today, actually. We wrap up our consolation round here on this Saturday, some second half highlights as you see Payson O'Neill really just kind of dominate this game, both on the glass, offensively. She just played really, really calm and under control today, didn't she?
Yeah, she had 21 points, 10 rebounds, and just the emotion that she brings to the game.
Big sister Reagan hit a couple big shots early, and man, that kind of ignited Bennett County, and then they just kept running. There you see Harley Harris. Lyman tried to make a run, though. They got the ball back in the hands of their star, Max Scott. Little sister Jordan hit some big threes, but it was just too much Lady Warriors in this one. The size, the speed, and then when they started making threes, they end up with 9 threes or 7 threes. That just makes it tough on another team.
Right, and you look at Jordan Scott, 21 points, 9 rebounds. Max Scott, 15 points, 11 rebounds. Mac will be very much missed for that Lyman squad, but a lot of young kids ready to step up. It's just interesting you see the young kids, how much they look up to those the seniors and the juniors on the teams. Yeah, those final shooting statistics, 21 of 59 for Bennett County for 35%. Lyman, 13 of 47 for 27%. Just 3 threes, and those all came late in this one in that fourth quarter by Jordan Scott. 3 of 17. 10 of 27, though, for Bennett County. Yeah, just the shooting percentage. And Lyman really couldn't get anything going consistently. They played really well, came out, did much better the second half, outscored Bennett County 31-23, but just not enough to overcome, again, that first quarter, that start by Bennett County that you heard Coach Evans talk about. They didn't have the first night and probably really spent the time the last 2 days concentrating on. We'll take a look at our recap from today. There's how it went. 53-46. It was Centerville beating Coleman Egan, and then that consolation championship, Bennett County 58-47 over Lyman. Look at the brackets for tonight's championship round.
3rd and 4th place. Corsica Stickney and Parkston, the 8 and the 3. And then for a state title, Ethan and Harding County about 6:45. The Rustlers and the Ranchers. It should be a dandy. We look forward to that one here tonight.
If you got a few minutes, you got a close one out at Sioux Valley 61, West Central 58 in that consolation championship.
Oh, yeah, just some 20 seconds left up in Watertown. So we'll take a check on that. Have a wonderful afternoon. We will catch up with you again tonight. Be back on the air 5 o'clock Central Time. For Lisa Bahi, for the guys in the back, we appreciate you having us on today. I'm Brad DeBeer from First Bank and Trust Arena on the campus of SDSU. Have a great afternoon, everybody.